All right. Okay, I started recording, but we're gonna do a
Okay.
podcast type of thing. We're going to talk about a bunch of different topics, and then we're gonna give our thoughts. We're gonna invite people up to speak, and fuck it, yeah. Let's see. Okay, so the first topic is a tier list of life skills. So I don't know how we do that, but
Topic of life skills.
yeah, a tier list.
Okay.
I don't know if we can do a
Can
tier
we-
list site though. That's the thing. Like, I don't know. I think we should come back to that one because it's kind of hard to like.
Yeah, that's like
Yeah.
complicated.
Yeah, let's build up to that one. Let's
Yeah.
get the creative juices.
Okay,
flowing
so
first.
let's start with reducing screen time.
Oh, okay. This is a good one.
This is a great one.
This is a very good one.
Let's see. Fuck.
Just out of curiosity, how many people listening in this lecture, like people who are on the stage as well, have been in like constant use of social media or like video games for what, 5 years plus? I'm raising both hands because I'm a
me.
fucking
Shit, 10 years, bro.
I'm an ex Modern Warfare 2 quick scoping 12-year-old
Okay.
scrub, so yeah, that's
That's
how you
crazy.
know. Like I'm the real deal.
Shit.
I'm the guy that used to say he fucked your mom, you know, after he just dropped 69 kills in a domination match.
Yeah, I
That's
used
it.
to
Bro,
play video
it's
games
crazy to think that.
the entire day. Minecraft, notably.
Yeah.
TF2.
It's crazy to think that in one
Pretty
game
grim.
that I have, which is Dota, I have about 4,000 hours in it. That's just
Fucking
one
Christ.
race.
Christ.
I know, it's crazy. Like if you calculate that, I think that's about 100 days or something like that. Let me see.
Guys, put your in chat. Put the most amount of time you've spent on a video game.
166
We want to see.
days.
Yeah, we want to see how much time you've dropped on degenerate activities.
I think I spent
look what
like
he's got.
40 days
I can
on
buy all my
Fortnite or
gaming.
something. That was
8K
crazy.
on Fortnite. Ran dizzy.
Jesus.
8,000? What
crazy.
the
bro.
fuck? Yo,
Hey,
that's
hey,
fucking
bro.
crazy, bro. Hey, yo.
Oh my god, bro.
Holy shit.
No, you know why it's
Fuck.
messed up? The game is not even that old, bro.
Yeah.
Fortnite. Jesus
I think
Christ.
someone also said that they spent 2 years. So basically, on Valorant. So that's like basically since it came out. Someone's been like a day one Val vet here. Holy shit. 400 hours in VR porn.
Oh
But
my lord.
VR
Have
porn hits
mercy.
different though. I'm not gonna lie.
Have mercy on
Yeah,
your
don't
soul.
encourage them,
Let's
bro.
get some Adonises on the VR porn
Oh
comment.
no, Jesus
Nah.
Christ.
Because that is like the next. That's like the interim step between just jerking it by yourself and
my
actually
word.
witnessing.
Damn.
One blog message. Who do I have blogged?
Oh god.
Someone asked where this will be uploaded. It'll be uploaded to this channel, which is my personal channel.
Life. Nice.
Free
Good shit.
promo. All right, but actual tips to reduce screen time. Get a life. I mean, if you have responsibilities in the real world, it's kind of hard to make time to just be on social media and video gaming the entire time. But I think you need to have a
Shit,
strong
bro.
reason why. Yeah, that ties into like actual like having a life. If you don't have a reason why you want to quit or like something that you need to do outside of screen time, it's going to be extremely hard. Like you need to have a purpose.
Yeah. 100%.
Wait,
I agree with
Spencer,
what you said there.
I just
You
want to
said-
say, man, like
Yeah.
I love the grind you're doing on your channel. This is the first time I'm seeing it.
Appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, man.
Let's
Shit,
check
man.
this out.
That's the plan for the future, you know.
Oh,
Follow in
yeah,
Hamza's
bro.
footsteps and build my business. Get some money flowing in through some courses or something. And
Mhm.
shit, free real estate. You feel me?
Hey,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love
that's
that word.
what we do,
real
bro.
estate.
Thanks.
You and I on the same path here, Syntax.
Yes, sir.
Let's get some collabs going, bro.
Okay, let's get it, bro.
Yeah,
I'm
don't
down.
forget about me,
100%.
man. I got my channel coming up soon.
Okay.
Yeah, we're all listen. We're
Sir.
all gonna make it. So let's get this shit done.
We all gonna make it,
Um,
bro.
Hold on. Will just commented he'd like to be invited up. Are
I
we inviting
invited
people up
him.
at this
Yeah,
point?
yeah.
Okay,
Yo,
I say
yo,
invite
yo.
him up. Yeah, he's
Let's go,
he's
Will.
knowledgeable.
Hey,
Yeah.
what's
that's
going
good, bro.
What's up,
Okay.
bro?
Drop some gems
So,
about reducing screen time, bro.
Yeah, go.
so reducing screen time. Okay.
Yeah.
Something that's worked for me because I used to be like a very avid gamer. I guess like I'd spend like most of my summers just sitting on my ass playing video games for a long time. Was just getting away from the device, like literally walking away from it, doing something outside, being somewhere with people, like as much distance as you can create between that thing that you're addicted to and putting yourself in a more productive environment will automatically lead you to being more productive. Like, like you just have to, like, if your phone's an issue, someone in the chat said they walk around their house on their phone. That's better than just sitting on your ass on your phone, because at least you're getting your steps in, you're burning calories. If you go out and you want to be on your phone, at least be in like a coffee shop, look things up, be in a space with other people, do something where there's interaction around or like potential for interaction. You understand what I mean? Like there's just better ways than just sitting in your house, like being secluded and like a hermit. So
Oh, that's good.
I like that. Yeah, because
I agree
if
with
you're
that.
walking around the house and on your phone, it's gonna be like kind of hard to like use it super frequently if you have to be walking while using it. That's a good way to limit usage. I like that.
Yeah, and screen time isn't necessarily bad. Like I use a lot of screen time, but I barely play video games anymore. I really barely like watch porn or do videos or that are unproductive. I usually just research topics that I'm interested in, and I learn as much as I can. Like the internet is such like a library of knowledge for everybody to have access to, but people usually opt for the more self-stimulating things instead of actually being productive off it. So
100%. It's a great thing you're here, Will, because when I messaged you last night, that's exactly what I wanted to ask you. I wanted to ask you that and other things on your personal development
yeah,
process.
I mean, and look, I'm
whole
not
journey.
I don't want to come in here and I've been talking on the Discord for a little while, but I don't want to come in here and sound perfect or like I got my shit together completely. Everybody struggles with shit.
No, 100%.
So like I'm not fully developed, but I've definitely learned a lot in my 22 years. Just making mistakes and actually putting valiant effort into not making those mistakes again. So
Yeah,
I think that's a
definitely.
big important thing.
Yeah.
100%.
How the fuck
But
did my door
I
open
appreciate
by
you guys
itself?
inviting me up here, by the way.
No problem, G.
No, you're
Yeah,
welcome.
no problem, man. Got
Victory
knowledge
was vouching
about
for
it.
you, so
Yeah.
I had to, bro.
Yeah, I
I'll be
appreciate that.
I'll be
Victory.
messaging you as well, Will.
All right, cool.
Look forward
Do
to
your
that, bro.
do your initiation, bro.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
You're a real one, man.
Well, so you guys are all moderators, correct?
No, not me and Victory
Yeah, not
or
really,
Flatline.
No,
Well,
we're not.
okay.
Only
So you guys are just
Achilles.
like veterans, I guess, technically.
Yeah, you could say.
You could say that,
In
Okay.
a way, yeah.
I
In a way,
guess.
sort of. Also, if there's anyone in the chat by the name of Lawazi Mabota, thank
What
you
the
for subscribing
fuck?
to. Yeah, some crazy. Sounds like a Ugandan warlord, but whoever you are, you subscribe to my YouTube channel. So I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
That's a no limit.
Is that you, No Limits?
Oh my god, bro, you wild, bro. You content warfare.
Bruh, this motherfucker. Yeah,
That's fine.
Lawazi Mabota. My YouTube channel is hang on, I'll drop it in here. So my YouTube channel is sk_levels, but I will drop a link to the channel as well. Get a quick instant promo,
Wait, where'd you
similar
drop it?
to Syntax. I'm dropping it now. Hold on.
Oh, where?
Yeah, bro.
Say no more.
Appreciate anyone who checks it out, and yeah, I appreciate all the subs and all the support that comes through. You guys are real ones. Doing a very similar thing to Syntax. I'm going to be starting my own podcast soon. I've got a few videos in the pipeline, just waiting for them to be edited and developed.
Nice.
Thank you,
Nice.
mates. Is it clowned?
Subscribe
Clowned?
right now.
Crowned. Appreciate you. Meditate and lift. Thank you very much. Young's work. Young's work? Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, the editor should hurry the fuck up, Sam. Don't know where he is. he just bailed on me. He's fucking. I heard he's a fucking sexy beast though, so he's probably out there fucking all the bitches. Can't blame him. Need to learn how to multitask, you know. Pipe hose and edit at the same time.
Are you all on?
Thank you, Creator J. I appreciate you. It's no sim September. Yeah, let's go, boys. That's right.
What do you say?
Ain't
No simp every
simping
day.
done here. Ain't no simping. So I just want to very quickly touch on what Will said with regards to separating yourself from the screen time, right? Screen time, yes, I agree, isn't a bad thing and can be harnessed correctly if you use it for things that directly influence your self-improvement, okay? As for cutting the ties that bind you to the problems, what I found from my personal experience is to look at dividing your time and almost assigning them, assigning the behavior through a series of like mechanical actions. That sounds very wishy-washy for saying what Will said, but I'm about to go in on it. So what do I mean by that? When people say, for example, okay, yeah, you know, like, oh, cutting down on video games is easy, just don't play games and replace your time with things that are wholesome. I found that for me personally, being someone who's quite, I don't know about you guys. Actually, how many people in chat consider themselves overthinkers? Even people here that are up on the stage. How many of us can say that, you know, we overthink things and we think, you know what, yes, I know what I need to do, but how? How many times has that question come up? You know, it's like your parents say, "Oh, go out more." Yes, I know, but how? You know,
Cannot relate, unfortunately.
okay, no, that's
So,
fair. You know,
I definitely was an overthinker for a lot of my
Yep.
life. And I think the way I solved that problem was to learn as much as I can, because then I have the answers to the questions I thought.
exactly.
Does that make sense? Like,
Oh, 100%, because that's exactly what I did. So the thing with that is also me personally, I'm a very stepwise. I have a very methodical train of thought. I come from a military background, so everything is broken down by numbers. And if you have even a remotely relative type of thought process, it's about, yes, taking the steps to learn how to take action, right? Because by doing that, you then breed accountability within yourself, which you instill. That's a fundamental value to making the change, because it's so easy to tell people to just make the change, and in order to make a change, you need to be the change. The problem is, for someone who overthinks, is we overlook the idea on the mechanics behind it. So how does one take themselves away from the desk right now, right? Put down the keyboard, the controller, whatever it is, and then go outside. Well, first thing is you need
Right.
to look at something that you might be interested in. And thankfully, we have social media, you know, we have the internet, so we can look up things like activities, look up groups, look up just any hobby that we might find as interesting and obviously aligns itself with something wholesome. So myself, I decided that the thing I was going to replace video games with was self-improvement books. I decided to read more. So the mechanical process to that was literally I went on to Amazon. I looked up self-improvement books. I went onto YouTube. I looked up self-improvement courses. That's why I found certain, you know, various like red pill artists, but then I also found Hamza's channel because the algorithm had bumped him up at that point, right? That's when I started to invest my time into that. That energy that I was putting into gaming suddenly got redirected to the other activities. And then I started to build exercise into my routine more consistently. That's what got me out of the house. And the mechanics to that were by, you know, signing up to a gym, making sure that, you know, you had what you needed to ensure that gym membership was current. And then you hold yourself accountable by creating a training program. And you then take a before picture. Of course, everybody's before picture. I mean, when we all started our journey, we probably not so happy with what we see when we look in the mirror, right? But then that's when you use that as your motivation. And the mechanical steps towards that is by putting on your shoes, getting into your car, or taking a walk, or taking the train, or whatever it is, getting into the gym, and then adopting the just show up mentality. Because every time that you step into the gym and you just show up, you are taking yourself one step away from the very activity that was holding you back. It's a similar thing with porn, right? You you can get a blocker, but what's that really going to do? Because the temptation is always going to be there. We want to
Yeah,
take out the old habits and replace them with new healthy ones.
I think looking at things in a cause and effect mentality is a great way. Because, for example, let's say someone's addicted to porn. What are you doing? Like, what is your environment? Like, you're addicted to
Exactly.
porn because A, you're probably sitting in your room, not going out socializing, not talking to women in real life. So you're having to, expound upon your fantasies through a virtual means of, pleasure, I guess. So
Yeah.
cause and effect would say, okay, well, the the cause of my addiction is the effect of me just being in my room and not going out in public. So then that automatically gives you the answer to how you can start to change that. Go out, and then second it's like, okay, but I'm still lonely when I'm out. The cause is you're lonely because the effect is that you're not speaking to people, you're not socializing. Okay, then it can trickle down into a bunch of different answers, but it's a good way to get answers for yourself as to why there are limitations. And I put that in parentheses because like everyone creates their own limitations. You're never limited in this life. Like, so it's just finding why you limit yourself, and then you have to kind of grab your own balls and get over that. You know what I mean? Like
Well,
you have to
Yeah.
put yourself in uncomfortable situations to grow.
100%.
Definitely.
100%. Go ahead, Victory. You had something to say?
Is this like about just or limiting screen time, right?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. So when it comes to me, what I do personally, like when I'm going to bed, I'll put my phone on just my desk, which is just across the room, right? And then I'll set an alarm. And once I wake up in the morning, the alarm goes off. So I'm pretty much like I'm forced to like get up and take action to turn off the alarm. And by then, like I've already got myself out of bed. So the first thing I'll be thinking about is to do more action, knock out some habits and stuff. It's just about like setting yourself in the right like state of mind, getting the right mentality about getting things done, not trying to procrastinate with your screen, not being so reliant on your phone. Like for me, anytime I'm outside or I'm with like my mom, she'll always just say, "Get off your phone when you're like walking around and stuff," because obviously like you just tend to naturally go to your phone if you're standing still or if you're idle, not doing anything. You feel the urge just to check what's going on let's say Discord or what's going on Instagram. But you should know that you have to be aware of these like habits that happen unconsciously, like just checking your phone out of habit. You want to cut that out. You don't want that to become like routine. You don't want it to become consistent. So you should be more like outgoing when you're outside. You should be more like aware of your surroundings, be more alert, and don't feel like don't use your phone as a crutch pretty much. Like if you're
Yeah.
standing awkwardly, don't use your phone at all. Just like try like say you're in a party environment, don't be the guy who's just in the corner on his phone. Like you want to take the initiative to start a conversation. You want to put yourself in uncomfortable situations as well. So any screen like your computer, your phone, you should use them like sparingly. You shouldn't become over reliant on them because before you know it, it'll become a crutch that you pretty much use to as a supplement for any time you are idle or you're not doing anything. You might come up and say, "Oh, the best thing I could be doing at this time is looking at my screen." when that's not the case. And even if you do, like you want to make sure you're using your screen for the right things, like reading, doing other educational things, or working on some habits or getting some work done. So just know that using your like screens and technology, it's a double-edged sword. Like it can be very beneficial, but can also be very harmful in its effects if you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah. No,
Mm.
that's yeah, exactly. And
I think
it's
that.
so important
Oh,
you've got that
sorry.
awareness. Go ahead, Will.
I was just gonna say, I think that a lot of people's outlooks is that life is boring, life is tedious, life is hard, so they don't want to enjoy life or they don't want to be present for it. They want to distract themselves and live in these virtual realities. Yeah, I've been ridiculed most of my life, which is kind of funny because it's something that like speaks on society negatively. But I've been ridiculed most of my life for not being on my phone a lot of the time. Like when I'm out with friends, I'm never on my phone. I'm never like sitting there just scrolling mindlessly on Instagram. I'm listening to people. I'm looking around. I'm like people watching TVs and sports bars. But I'm like I'm present in the moment. So when someone says something funny, I always catch it. When something happens, I'm always aware of it going on. And I, because of that, have so many experiences in my life that truly resonate in my brain because like I was there for it. A lot of people, they look up from their phone, like, oh, what's funny? What did I miss? And it's like, what do you mean? You're sitting right here at the table with us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just like really, uh, you know, weird that I would be ostracized for not being, on my phone or doing social media on my phone, but yet being social in real life is the weird thing. You know what I mean? So I think it just a lot of people need to like Victory said, put your phone down, be present, practice mindfulness because that's essentially what it is. You're being mindful of the moment. Like you're taking in everything because you only get one life. And when you're on your deathbed, when you're sick, whenever you're old and whatever, you're gonna look back at everything you did. And the last thing you want to think is, damn, I spent 20,000 hours on my phone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. It's like
oh,
it's almost like imagine when you die, you see this screen, which is like your end of like end of game
yeah,
statistics, right? And it'll be
Yeah.
like, time spent, for example, working on your life attributes, right? So like your strength and
yeah,
all that stuff. And then you come to the amount of time you spend in the digital world, because let's face it, a lot of people who get so engrossed in video games, I mean, I know that I did this. A lot of the reasons why I was so engrossed in video games was because I felt as though I wasn't, like you said, I was I was so bogged down by the hardships of life that I could just get I got my wins through the digital world, right?
yeah.
Everything I did in video games was like my win there, and that gave me that instant gratification, and and all it did was just make me feel more miserable because the moment I unplugged from that virtual reality, I was back to, oh, here I am, you know, I'm still this skinny kid who's, you know,
Right.
who's not like reflecting the jacked dude that I am in the video game, and it creates like this false sense of reality, and that's what
Yeah.
that further begins to affect you. And the more time you spend pulling yourself away from reality, the more it actually begins to fracture like your identity.
And it's
It
harder and
does.
harder to catch up the longer you put it off.
Exactly. So for like this is a routine that I engage in, especially on the weekends, because currently with my job I work from home, so I have to be sat at my desk. But for anyone else who does have a similar role, every time that I get like a break in between the clients that I see, which is usually like a 10-minute window, I get up. I get up and I go and do some form of exercise. Whether I do a couple of push-ups or if I do like a very quick like mini hit sort of workout in between, just to change things up, just to get some oxygen to the brain, I'll do that. Or I'll walk around the house, or I'll go and like, walk into my garden, or do like a household chore, it takes 10 minutes just to like vacuum your house, your apartment, or
Yeah.
polish the furniture, or do something like that, because it's about sustainability, building good habits, and also, like Will said, remaining present. One thing I also do, especially on the weekends, is when I wake up, I go and do my morning routine. So again, we talk about the mechanics. Wake up, get out of bed, walk to the bathroom, you know, put your like rinse off your toothbrush, put your toothpaste on, brush your teeth, then wash your face with your soap, um, or do your skincare routine, then have a shower, etc. Come back, and what I do then is I devote 2 hours of solid deep work into my business, and I don't even check my phone until then. So if you can just start with that, you're well on your way to reducing your screen time and also um, rebuilding and instilling healthy habits, healthy, wholesome
Yeah.
habits that will carry you far. A little bit goes a long way, guys.
I used to like my favorite video game was Skyrim, and I
Oh
think
yeah,
because of the fact that you had all these different traits that you could level up. You had your speech, your sneak, all that stuff, right? And there
yeah,
was like like a part of me that self projected onto that, wanting to build my own traits in real life, right? So what I did though was understood that, okay, this game and the premise of building these traits is based off of real life, not the other way around. So
yeah.
in real life, you can build your traits, your speech skills, your social ability, your interactions with women, your strength, all these things if you do exactly what you would do in a video game. But it's even better because you're the main character now. You understand? You're in real
Yeah, of
life doing those things and being that guy. Sure, you're not sitting there
course.
fighting fucking trolls and shit. Cool. But I mean, you could fight trolls, just internet trolls. You know what I mean? So in a sense, it's just also making your environment. Like you said, how when you do work on your computer, you do
Yeah,
things in between. If you're playing video games, every time you die, do 10 push-ups. Or every time you die, if you have a pull-up bar on your door, go do a pull-up. Every time you walk through your door and there's a pull-up bar, do pull-ups. Invest in those things and set up your environment for success, because you're more likely to utilize those things that promote success if they're available to you. And if you don't have the money or your parents won't buy them for you, get a job, work for what you want, because that's also another
exactly.
skill building trait. So,
That's solid,
like
man.
if you're out working, now you're forced to socialize because you have coworkers, you have people that you're usually interacting with at your work. That's boosting your social ability, your speech and like interaction skills. Then you actually have money, so you have a sense of like monetary worth for yourself, and you can get things that uh, progress your strength and fitness and health through either the foods you eat or buy, and the exercise equipment. It's just like all these things like feed into each other if you think about it that way, if you think about it like a
100%.
skill tree. So
Mm.
Yeah, 100%. You create this is what it is, instilling those well-rounded, better habits that are only going to benefit you in the long run. You're creating a feedback loop, right? And in this feedback loop, you're starting to build up on strong foundations to create healthier habits, all of which will help in your goal of reducing screen time, quitting instant gratification activities, video games, porn, even like binge eating, junk food, um, negative sleeping habits. Okay, because that's also a
Mm.
very big thing. Sleep, like
sleep is so
ironically,
important.
sleep is so important, and it's the thing that's slept on the most. Excuse the pun. So,
No, yeah,
so many people just completely disregard their their sleep cycles and getting into a healthy sleep cycle, because that right there at its foundations is the key to you know your like ensuring that your neural pathways are firing off correctly, right? Having a good sense of mental health and stability. Okay, when it comes to your actual physiology, those of you who are working out, everybody should be working out, everybody should be training towards something. It goes towards your muscle regrowth, to body
yeah.
body fat reduction. There's so many intrinsic values that stem from the nucleus that is your sleep.
Mhm.
And when
Yeah, I think a
you
lot of
neglect that,
people should look into circadian rhythm, because that's
yeah,
literally our body's biological time clock as to when we should sleep and when we should wake up. And everything, like all of our hormone and cell functionality, revolves around a good sleep pattern. Like you were saying, the functionability of sleep is just amazing for what it can do for your health. A lot of people spend all night like on YouTube until like 3 a.m. They're like, oh shit, what am I doing? Dude, go to bed at 9, wake up at 5 in the morning. That's 8 hours of sleep, and then get on YouTube and watch it in the morning. That alone, while YouTube and being on there for so many hours is a bad habit, at least your sleep schedule is better and your mentality will be better. And that might even just spark enough motivation and drive for you to put your phone down and go do something.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like, you don't need to spend all night doing it, you know? So,
Don't
I
forget
don't know.
T levels, or your T is
Yeah, your
produced
T,
while you sleep.
dude.
So you need
Dude,
that
growth hormone and
testosterone.
testosterone,
Exactly.
yes, come right
Most of
out of
your
your
hormones
pineal
are
gland, bro.
regulated while you sleep.
They come right out of your pituitary gland.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, yeah, no, sleep. It's like literally the backbone of a good schedule. If like, there's so many things that are thrown off when you have poor sleep. Your mental clarity, your muscular growth, anything you can really talk about. Having like an extra hour of sleep is more beneficial in most cases than like any supplement, anything you do in your routine. Because like, again, sleep is very important.
Yeah, and they say every hour before 12 a.m. counts as almost 2 hours worth of sleep. So if you went
Mm-hmm.
to bed at 9 and you woke up at 5, that's 8 hours alone. But if you factor in those 2+ hours, you're getting almost up to 12 hours worth of sleep. And you're probably in REM sleep, which is deep sleep, where you're actually getting true rest. Have you guys ever gone to bed for 8+ hours, woke up and you were still tired?
Oh yeah.
There's a reason for that. It's because you weren't in deep sleep. You were just resting. Your body was like idle. It wasn't even like recovering. You have to be in deep sleep. So your room has to be dark. There has to be minimal noise. It has to be a certain temperature. Your body has to be like more cool than hot to get into
Yep.
deep sleep. There's so many factors. Also, people binge eat before they sleep, and that interrupts your sleep because now your body has to take its energy functionality away from recovering muscles and tissues and stuff like that on digesting food while you lay there idle. That slows your metabolism. That builds up shit in your system. It's like so
While we're
bad for you.
while we're talking about cycles, I do want to throw in the thing we were talking about before. And I put it in the chat as well.
Yep.
Yeah. So
If just like you were talking about, what is it, REM cycles, you can get like maybe 10 hours of sleep, 9 hours of sleep, but if you wake up in the middle of a REM cycle, like with an alarm, you're gonna feel groggy as hell. So guys, I definitely would advocate practicing not having an alarm when you sleep, and that also goes in hand with having a consistent sleep schedule. And like you
yeah,
just said, I never even knew that if you
Mm-hmm.
sleep earlier, like 9 o'clock, your body's giving you more sleep, or you're getting a better quality of sleep. That makes sense, but no, I don't really think about it like that.
yeah. When I learned about circadian rhythms, it's like your body is actually almost very robotic in the way it functions. Like
Mm-hmm.
if you sleep at the same time every night and wake at the same time every morning, like I remember when I started going to bed at 9 and waking up at 5:45, I did definitely need an alarm at the beginning, but like maybe after the first week, every time I went to bed, even if it was past 9, my body would auto wake up at 5:45, like on the minute. And I
Yep.
would just like wake up though. It wasn't no grogginess or anything. It was like my eyes were just open and I could not go back to bed if I wanted to. Like I don't know about you guys, but that's amazing. When you wake up and you just feel like, yo, I'm ready to get after it. And the first thing I would do is go exercise. I would eat every day at the same time. You know, I'd meal prep and shit. Obviously, some people can't do that, but when you eat at the same time every day as well, your body metabolizes food better. It also like you're more regular when you go to the bathroom. You just utilize food a little bit more efficiently. So treat your body almost like a factory and everything on a general basis of schedule if you can, and I promise you your like whole health functionality will increase by like tenfold.
Yeah, and I want to say that people like tend to like not realize the fact that sleep deprivation also like it leads to problems with emotions. Like you're more prone to have emotional outbursts. You're more prone to lose your temper with people. You're more prone to lash out when you're sleep deprived. And like
Yeah,
I've
when I'm sleep
realized as
deprived I
well,
get angry.
yeah,
Yeah.
like you get angry. You get angry a lot, and when it comes to like when you're in a learning environment as well, it's not conducive. Like you won't take in any information. You'll just feel like you
Totally
don't
agree.
want to be there. So if you plan on working hard, which a lot of us do, and especially over to like school related or or work that just requires a lot of just brain power, like you want to get a lot of sleep, like 8 to 9 hours plus around
Uh,
there.
this
So
this guy named Woke AF Magi just said
Yeah,
the pineal gland has photoreceptors. The ancients say that they can
that's
feast on
just so sick,
sunlight.
bro.
That's actually a fact. If you
yeah,
actually look
yeah,
into scientific studies, if you wake up in the morning, let's say like 5 or 6 o'clock before the sun rises, and you see first light in the morning, that is actually a really good way to auto kind of regulate your circadian rhythm
Yeah, it helps
and also
set the
seeing
circadian
sundown.
rhythm.
So those are definitely good tips. And I definitely agree with what you said, Victory, like
yeah.
100%.
Just one thing: don't stare at the sun.
Yeah,
Just
like
I,
that's not what we mean.
I know it's obvious, but we're not so Illuminati here. Do not stare at the sun
Yeah.
directly,
I used to do that shit all the time as a kid until it wasn't
bro.
cool.
No way, bro.
I used to
Yeah.
stare at the sun till I just couldn't see anymore. Like, what the hell?
Bro.
I used to do it to make myself sneeze sometimes, just
Oh
just
yeah, I
cause.
would do that.
Oh, I like burning out my retinas too.
Yeah, it's fucking great, boys.
And I'm gonna say this again, and I know a lot of people probably saw this in the chat, but I'm gonna talk about it since we're talking about sleep. Guys, try melatonin, try chamomile tea. I mean,
Sure.
Yes.
both of those things will knock you the hell out. And if you
Yeah.
combine that with
Mhm.
having a good sleep schedule, you're almost guaranteed to feel rested every
I would
morning.
just say everything in moderation, though. Like, while melatonin
Definitely.
hasn't been proven in studies to cause any adverse side effects, they definitely don't know the extremely long-term side effects or whether it does eventually stop making you produce your own melatonin. So
Yeah.
you don't want to
Sure.
become dependent on
That
something.
does make sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
obviously don't use it
So
like too much, otherwise, yeah, it's
yeah,
possible
unless
that
you
your
have like
body can stop producing it.
like if you're clinically an insomniac or something, you like literally need it every night, then I understand. But like
Mhm.
if you just find yourself like one night, it's like your bedtime and you're like really high energy or whatever, pop like a melatonin or two, drink some chamomile tea, and close your eyes. You're gonna fall asleep.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
so
And a technique that I've actually been using, especially towards the start of my whole self improvement journey, for anyone who struggles to get to sleep um, in a more natural state, try doing the following. Right, so everyone should be gratitude journaling. You know, everyone who has like gone past the role of Jeffrey should should definitely be gratitude journaling. Okay, what I've done is I do my journaling, or I do like the final part of my journaling right at night, like right before I'm about to start
Mhm.
my night routine. Okay, so I do my journaling and I give my gratitude, and then I write down my affirmations. And I know some for some people this might be a new concept, but if you just have goals that you're working towards and write them down just the same way that you write everything else down in your journal, okay, and focus on them and really reflect on them and think long and hard on them. Visualize yourself actually embodying those principles. And then what I did was I would use the Medito app on my phone and do a guided meditation. And especially if you have a very, you know, cerebral mind, if you're someone who tends to naturally overthink a lot, um, that helps immensely with, you know, reducing your heart
Mhm.
rate, just kind of calming your mind and bringing you to a central balance. And you find that you'll actually fall asleep. Very similar to how Hamza even said you could fall asleep, and I think it's like between 11 minutes flat. You'll find that you'll fall asleep within that time range. And you start to do that consistently, you'll find that you'll just build it into a cycle. Before you know it, you'll actually start to go into a natural sleep cycle.
yeah, like even added to the sleep, blue light on your phone. Someone mentioned it in the chat, but
Yeah,
there's
that
been
needs to
studies that
stop.
show that your phone emits blue light, which actually, you know, messes with your receptors in your eyes, which keeps your body thinking that there's daylight
Mhm.
present. So you actually stop producing melatonin, or it like inhibits the production of melatonin altogether. So if you journal and do something like, you know, more mental focused, like writing or reading, that actually, you know, will help you start to produce melatonin. It's more productive for your mental state anyway, especially if you're doing it like reading something to increase your quality of life, or doing the journaling to increase your quality of life, even meditating, like you said. Anything that's off your phone, like last 2 hours before sleep is probably the best thing you can do to get into a good circadian rhythm. So
I mean,
Exactly.
two things that
Yeah.
I can suggest that personally work extremely well for me are what's it called? Progressive relaxation. So like I know this is used in the military sometimes and it's suggested quite heavily online, but basically the process starts while you're relaxing in bed. You start by tensing up uh you start like head to toe. So you start by tensing up your forehead muscles, then you let it relax. Then
Yeah.
go to your cheeks, your like nose, your tongue, your chin, everything. You go all the way down your body, and once you fully relax yourself, like sometimes I literally knock myself out when I do the final muscle. I just like instantly drop into sleep. So that's one
yeah,
thing that can help. Sometimes that works instantly for me. Sometimes I need to try something else. But another
I
way
read
that
into this study. Oh, sorry.
as I was saying, another way that I found helps me go to sleep is this thing called sleep hypnosis. So there's like actually been studies online that show that this sleep hypnosis can in fact help you fall asleep. And obviously hypnosis is only self hypnosis because you obviously can't be swayed by someone else's words unless you allow it to be like allow yourself to sway into sleep. So I'll just
Right.
link one of these sleep hypnosises. Maybe if any of you guys are gonna go to sleep soon or tonight, try this out. It's pretty powerful, I'd say.
I read into this study that was about pretty much if you close your eyes and you stay completely still, like you ignore all sensations bodily, like if you have an itch or whatever, and you just don't give in to any urge your body has. You actually, within 15 minutes of being completely still and sedentary, with your eyes closed, your body will start to instantly go into a sleep or try to put yourself to
Do not
sleep by
listen to this
producing
real
melatonin. Um,
Yeah.
so, and it sounds like crazy, but I tried it and it's really hard to like, I don't know if anyone else gets this, but when you try to go to sleep and sit still, you get like this nose itches and eye itches and shit. And like whatever, like your
Oh
body
yeah.
starts stimulating, but that's actually your body testing you to see if you're still awake. It's a weird thing how your body plays with your mind. But if you
You know,
actually resist
yeah.
that urge and you don't scratch, it'll actually go away and you'll find that you start to fall asleep really quick. It's very weird.
No, it's true. It's
Interesting.
true. And even Nelko said, yeah, that's yep. So the U.S. military and even the UK military has actually been adopting that because we've seen a spike in the especially the new recruits. The younger generation. A lot of them have come in with underlying factors like ADHD and
Yeah.
a lot of mentally overstimulating um, conditions, right? Because of how we have ingrained ourselves in the social media society. So using that form of sleep therapy has actually been proven to help um, acclimatize to that type of lifestyle because a typical day you start at 0500 in the morning, right? By 0630, if you've not got an inspection, which you most likely will do, you're going to be going to have your first meal of the day. So you need to make sure that you're capitalizing as much on your sleep as possible, and a
Yeah, and
lot of it
also
comes through
resisting
guided
those
meditation.
those
Yep,
itches and stuff is like practicing extreme self-control too. Because like
that's
a
correct.
lot of people, they it's an instant gratification to itch an itch, right? But like if you
Mhm.
sit there and you kind of like thug it out almost, like you're just like, no, I'm not gonna itch, I'm just gonna stay still, and it goes away. You're practicing such mental fortitude in your mind telling you to do something, but then you refraining bodily. And that's something like David Goggins and a lot of like people like Jocko Willink and those military S guys inhabit
Yeah.
in their life is when their
Mhm.
brain says don't, their body does.
Yes.
Like David Goggins, he'll look outside and it'll be a blizzard, and his mind will say, "Dude, you don't want to run in that." So then he goes and runs in it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So
Exactly.
it's literally like you have to fight your mind with your body, and vice versa sometimes.
that is the
Yep.
ultimate form of self-discipline and self-mastery. And you'll find that, guys, if you like, this is what I mean. So part of instilling these newer, healthier um habits into your routine, when you find that you start to master, for example, your sleep schedule, you start to master your sleep cycle, it has a knock-on effect.
Mm.
So when you're, you know, when you're awake and you're starting to feel as though you're getting a little like too drawn into screen time, it's easier because you already have that feeling of being refreshed and you're running at full mental capacity. So if you're running at your optimum, you're going to want to stay within that circle, and that's
Mhm.
when you implement like screen breaks, as I like to call it. So go for a walk, like Will said, just if you've got a pull-up bar or something, go do some pull-ups in between. Go dust furniture, right? Kill two birds with one stone. You know you need to do it. You know that you need to live in a clean house or a clean flat or whatever it is. So go and clean. It's also a form
Yeah,
of mental activity, right? You
I
start
I
to.
think. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say you just build better habits and replace the old ones. And before you know it, you'll get to the point where you start to develop like these are the wins that we talk about, right? It's
Mhm.
these small wins that help create the abundance of confidence. This is what also helps create the abundance mindset. This lays the foundation because when you are a master of your home and you're a master of yourself, right? Think about it. A king can only be a master of his should be a master of his own castle, right? Before he starts to try and claim the land ahead of him, right? Before you start trying to master everything that's around you, master yourself first. So take care of your body, right? Someone asked a question about what are your thoughts on drinking water before you go to bed?
Yeah, so I actually was just talking to these guys in chat. I drink a
Yeah.
gallon of water a day, and I'm that guy that walks around with a gallon jug like all the time. People make fun of me for it because they're like, "Oh, you're that guy," whatever. But
Ooh, yeah.
yeah, but like I think hydration is super important, but I also know that being too hydrated is actually negative. If you're peeing clear, a lot of people look at that like, "Oh, that's great," but
Yeah.
you're actually peeing so many of your minerals and vitamins out through your urine
Yeah.
that it's actually overhydrating and overstimulating your kidneys, which can actually cause like kidney
That's right.
irritation because your kidneys aren't supposed to function like every 30 minutes, filtering something out. So
That's true.
it's just finding a good balance between, drink when you feel thirsty, but drink water. A lot of people drink sodas and like fruit juices and stuff. And
Yeah.
while those have good vitamins and minerals, sometimes the hydrating effect is very low and that can actually make you more thirsty.
Mm.
So, and I recommend 2 hours before bed, stop drinking all liquids because if you're prone to waking up in the middle of the night to pee, that is going to help you phenomenally. And also, if you look into Stan Efferding, he created the vertical diet. It's something that I follow personally, but he recommends that if you are chronically peeing in the middle of the night, like in your bed or waking up to go pee, take a tablespoon of salt before you go to bed because what salt does is it helps, or sodium, I guess technically, helps
Yeah.
absorb water into your muscles and also into your organs, which helps aid in recovery, but also keeps the water out of your bladder from building up. So it's you don't want to interrupt that REM sleep cycle we talked about. So uh,
Exactly.
I would just wake up in the morning and drink as much water as you can then, because usually overnight you become dehydrated.
Mhm.
So when you wake up, that's like prime time to drink water. I drink it before I drink coffee. I drink it before I eat my meal. It's like the first thing I start my day off with is just a fuck ton of water. So
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah.
Hey,
Some,
wait, go for it, go for it.
I was just say someone said they drink like 4 gallons of
Oh,
water
that's crazy.
a
yeah, it's a
day.
little
Yeah,
overkill.
What the
That's
fuck?
that's
that's
Yeah.
you're
A lot.
100% overhydrating. Even
Yeah.
if you have an active lifestyle, you shouldn't need that much water unless you are running like a marathon every day. You should not be drinking that much water.
I feel like even
And
if
even
you're an
then,
NBA
that's
athlete, you do not need that much water. Like that's
no,
way overkill.
that's like 6.5 liters. I believe.
It's 3.7 times 4, so
Oh
y'all do
no,
the
so that's
math.
about
That's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah, yeah.
But
Three
yeah,
point seven times 4. Yeah, that's like fucking 12 liters.
yeah. But
Yeah, no, no. I
as
I, I drink about 3 liters on average.
I want to get a lot more diversity in these discussions. Nothing against y'all, but like I want to invite like people in the actual chat to come up here. So I
Okay.
will be dismissing a few of you guys. Nothing against you guys, but
It's all good.
I'm gonna be taking
Okay, bro.
willpower back to the audience. Thank you for joining. You were actually spitting some fucking crazy ass knowledge. I appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys giving me the time to come up.
Big IQ.
Yeah, bro.
We should make this guy a disciple.
I mean, he needs to join the cult. Then
Yeah.
maybe we can.
Yeah,
bump him
do
up,
do your habit tracker stuff, Will.
Yeah, I
And
do my own self-tracking,
qualify.
journaling and stuff. I haven't posted anything here in the Discord, but
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah, I could tell.
I could definitely
tell
talk to
that
one of you guys about doing, becoming whatever it is. And
Yeah,
Yeah,
word.
sure thing.
Alright, bro.
Just
Take
shoot me
care,
a
man.
message.
all right, thank you.
Cut him off. My bad. I did not mean to cut you off there, but thank you for joining up here. No, I think we're gonna just keep this as like a 4-man hosting thing. So raise your hands, guys, if you wanna hop up here and yeah.
Yeah, to get some Adonises for willpower. I mean, this guy
Facts,
was dropping
facts.
some serious,
I told
serious,
y'all, man,
wholesome game.
I saw him in the Jeffrey chat, and I was like, yeah, he's different from the rest, man. He's
It
spitting
built
facts.
different, bro.
Build different. Yeah, there we go.
Thanks.
Hella Adonises, boys. Yeah, good shit. Show some love. Let's show some love for willpower. Because
Yo.
what you need to understand. Oh, sorry, syntax.
No,
I was in the zone, man. I was just saying, what people need to realize is that there are levels to self-improvement, okay? And it takes a lot of time, a lot of self-study and time to get your head around these concepts, okay? Even after this, like a lot of you will probably go to bed and be like, yeah, like this is what we need to do, etc. But I guarantee that within a week or something, you'll fall off because we're creatures of habit. It takes a lot of self motivation and willpower to get your head around these facts and to really start, unwiring all those habits. And listening to the way that Will was delivering his information, you can tell that this guy has really gone and put himself through the gauntlet.
Yeah.
Okay? Because the truth is, think about all the years, right? All of us, let's think about all the years that we were so invested in video games, constantly watching porn, binge eating food, just doing all the shit that fucked us up, that got us to the position where, we could then bring ourselves up into our self-improvement journey. Now you're putting those things into place. You need to undo all the crap and replace that. But this is why we have the lectures. So we show you how you can do this in a stepwise process.
Facts. There's levels to it. But, yeah. What y'all want to talk about? Y'all want to talk about females, working out, self-image? What's up? What you wanna talk about?
I don't even know. I'm doing my homework right now.
Carlos, I know you down for females all the time, right?
Someone says
you going
females.
crazy?
Someone said mental health. Mental health is actually really important.
I think I'm kind of burnt out for talking about mental health. Me and Victor did that like 3-hour lecture last week. So if you wanna learn about mental health, check out that lecture that is on my channel. But basically, the top 3 things we really talked about is just like, let's see. We talked about you gotta meditate, you gotta journal introspectively, you gotta have gratitude. But that's like the main top 3 things that we really talked about.
What's up, boys? Sorry.
What's good, Carlos? How
We're
you
gonna
doing?
have a quick one about mental health, you saying?
What do you say?
We all just talked at the same time.
Yeah, we all just like mentioned at the same time, overlap. What's the topic, boys? We all just,
Yeah, I was just asking.
spit game about women, female nature,
all right,
approaching female.
What do you guys want to know in the chat?
Well, yeah, I see a couple. I got 1, 2, 3 females. Yeah.
Hey, start
Someone
with
said
the
finances,
approaching females.
mental health.
What
Approaching
about
female.
women? But don't make it too personal, boys.
All
Like,
right, well, this
like,
one
be
bitch.
yourself.
We can just talk about what we were talking about earlier. Flatline.
Yeah, of course.
Talking about
Yeah,
the
go ahead.
retro and all that.
Okay, so okay. Well, this is gonna be a fun one. So we're talking about the female nature, specifically every guy who is, I'd say, RP aware. I think it's safe to say that they begin their journey all began with some heartless bitch or some
Yeah.
female, right? There's always some chick that that is always the source of every guy's like red pill journey. Yeah, see how I said RP aware and not specifically red pill as in the red pill community? Because well, I think that's a topic for another time because I could go on for fucking years on that. But when I say RP aware, what I mean is just being aware to the notion that you know you see life for as it is. You look beyond the veil and you can break out of the spell. Specifically when it comes to women and dealing with women. Um, this particular topic that Akil and I were talking about was, you know, dealing dealing with women who you have to understand that we are all on our own journey and we're taking different boxes off in our lives, right? The same goes for women. Now, the reality of that situation is that a lot of women don't believe that they need to self improve, right? This is because of the abundance of attention, the constant validation, and just the the constant sort of like just imagine like there's neon lights of instant gratification activities that surround them. Okay, I know there are a few females that are actually in this Discord, and more power to them because they just um, they just want to basically continue to improve on themselves. There's a huge uh, difference between the way that men and women operate here.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm gonna add
exactly,
something.
go for it.
Yeah. So listen, guys. And I'm not saying I'm an expert on this shit either. I mean, this is something I still deal with myself, right? But like you just said, man, a lot of us started this, this self improvement journey because of women, or some heartless girl broke her heart or whatever. And that's something I see guys talk about in the Discord when someone talks about a heartbreak. They're like, "Yo, use that as motivation, to get in the gym and level yourself up and all that." But guys, also understand that until you obtain a certain level of value and confidence slash worth, your main lust and drive or desire will be for women, and you really have to train yourself and discipline yourself and intentional in replacing that drive. It's difficult because even when you're successful, when you have a certain level of you know worth, you have a lot of things going for you. Women are going to basically throw themselves at you, and it's easier. But those high value men don't look at women the same way. They see it as a very, very optional thing. And a lot of us are doing a lot of what we do for that drive and that lust for women. So all I'm saying is, guys, try to replace that. It's very difficult when you're first starting off in self improvement to get that out of your mind. Like, oh, I just want to be a bunch of women, and it's normal. That's how we're made. But I saw this in a video. Just the simple sentence of you have to control yourself. Like you can't always be thinking about women. Successful men aren't doing that. It's optional for them because they have the success. That's what I'm gonna say.
No, you
Yeah.
said it perfectly. I think I agree with that. Like the problem with guys is you're right, exactly. That's the thing. When we went into this journey, we were low confidence, and a lot of us were like, oh, like I need to like get better because my ex, or like I need to like I want to get women, and like eventually through the process, like you realize that you love yourself more, and you find different means. But no, you're totally right. Like the problem is if you make women like your purpose, then that's when you start messing up, because you start moving differently when you don't have those girls in front of you. You're gonna feel low worth because that was your purpose. That's what you're supposed to do. So when you're not getting women, you just like you're out of it. So that's a terrible thing to put all your attention into, because when you start chasing that, that's when you start losing them. That's when you start simping. So yeah, definitely. Once you get to a certain point of self-improvement, start finding different ways within yourself to motivate yourself, because you never want to let women be your first priority, because that always, bro, pussy, money, all that will drive you just down terrible paths, especially when you're low self-control, low
Yeah.
like everything else.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
You guys want to talk
Um,
about red pill like we were talking about earlier, Flatline?
Yeah, so the one thing that I actually wanted to get into was the in the manner of approach, right? Specifically cold approach. I mean, we see this all the time about just getting yourself out of your comfort zone and having the poise to be able to go up to a woman and just talk to them, all right? And most guys get caught up at this point, which is we get so caught up in our head. Like, how many times have you seen a girl who's walking down the street, and say she's on her phone or something, and you see her and you're like, yeah, you know, she's nice, or yeah, she looks bad, or whatever it is, I'm gonna go talk to her. I wanna say hello. Then you see that she's on her phone, and then immediately you start backpedaling. You start basically telling yourself, oh yeah,
Yeah.
she looks like she's busy. Oh, she looks as though, oh, yeah, maybe she's talking to her boyfriend. Oh, I'm not attractive enough. Oh, I don't think that she's into me. Oh, what if she doesn't like me? And then you just go and diffuse yourself, and you basically disqualify yourself before you even get a chance to see for yourself, right? Now, that I mean, there's a process to that with just getting the exposure, and the way that you go about that is just to enter that flow state, that social flow state when it comes to cold approach. One thing that I also want to stress is it takes a lot of time and effort, just like all the other habits that we covered in this lecture. Most important thing is, do not get emotionally invested like right off the bat, because like Will said, you know, if you do not value yourself internally, you're going to be seeking it externally, and you'll get emotionally attached to every single thing that a girl says, because you yourself are not strong within your own walls. You're not strong within your own foundations. So if a girl rejects you, and the thing is, girls pick up on these things. Girls can smell insecurity like sharks to blood, right? If you go up to a girl with weak frame, and if you're insecure, then you're just going to you're basically just hanging yourself out there like bait for her. Okay, it sounds harsh, but this is why, we say focus on self improvement. So when you go there and you do say you run a good game, whatever it is, if a girl says no to you for whatever reason, don't see that as like a defeat. Just be like, all right, whatever, it is what it is. Because this is the thing that we need to understand as guys. We as men are the prize, okay? We have to create our value. You have to put yourself through so many types of like just fucking roller coasters of journeys, right? Constantly improving yourself. Females don't operate that way, okay? The truth is that women have always looked to men to lead. Her femininity needs to basically coincide with your masculinity, okay? You have to hold your frame and take lead as a man. How do you do this? You have to be the master of yourself. Okay, if you can't even master yourself, how the fuck do you expect to master your female? And the problem with guys in this day and age is that
Sorry.
everybody wants a girl, right? Everybody wants a baddie. Everybody wants a chick to basically be like, oh, my queen. Personally, I don't conform to this whole king queen bullshit, because most guys don't even know what it means to be a king. If you look at the requirements and the values and traits that it takes to be a king, you need to be strong within your foundations. You need to have a good work ethic. You need to be able to take a fucking hit. I'm not just talking physically. I mean, yeah, that too, because back in the day, kings went to war while the queen stayed in the castle. All right. It's also a matter of having mastery of yourself and influencing people with your own mastery. That's how you build a foundation. Okay, kings are to be respected by the people they rule their domain over. If you can't do this yourself, how do you expect to have that with anyone else? It's it is, when you think about it, it is pretty brutal, but that is how we are biologically wired. And the
Yeah.
women in today's day and age are running a mockery on masculinity. I've actually just made a video on this, funnily enough, and it will be published soon, right? Women are making a mockery of masculinity, and there's a reason why we as men are failing, is because masculinity in today's day and age has been watered down by the
Brutalized, yeah.
pathetic fucking sissy boys that are running rife in our community.
Yo, and a
But
piggyback.
you know something, bro?
What's it?
My
Sorry,
bad.
go ahead. Go ahead, bro.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I definitely know that for a fact that women in today's society definitely have played a large role in the watered downness, like, if that's a word, of masculinity in society. But honestly, I don't see. I mean, you can give me an example. I mean, aside from people like Hamza, right? First man. but I don't see a lot of men taking any. I guess you know what? I kind of have to contradict myself because I guess the whole purpose of being a man is to take full accountability of your life, no matter what the situation is. But as a whole, I don't really see any men taking any accountability for these issues. Like I don't see anything being done, for example, for the high rates of male suicide, and it's crazy.
It's
So
because it's oh sorry, go ahead.
no, go ahead, man.
It's
I mean,
because
I have a lot
it's
more to say,
because masculinity is like the best kept secret, like within like men. Because I honestly think as men we don't even know what's wrong. Like when a guy gets broken up with, like is constantly getting disrespected by women, cheated on, he doesn't know that it has something to do with his masculinity. And that's where I wanted to piggyback off what Flatline said, that women will grow. So if you got to talk about women as a whole, women like obviously will read right through because they're very emotionally intelligent. They're more mature than men. So they will see right through an insecure man. And that's why our masculinity becomes so valuable, because this is what I got from a really good pickup artist. He said, all you need when you go to a woman, you need to realize how valuable your masculine presence is, because they're used to the simps they see in school, university, the ones that can't look them in the eyes, the ones that are slouched down, acting goofy, don't know how to talk to women. So when you go there with just your masculine presence in frame, it is so valuable. It is all you need. If you've been working on yourself, hitting the gyms a few times a week, grooming yourself, that is when your masculine like essence becomes so valuable to you and just works with women. Just being confident, looking them in the eyes, that's when that little thing will go such a far way.
Bars.
Right. It's so crazy how women will basically shame you into basically shaming you when you're not acting like a man and expect you to learn how to be a man from that.
Bro,
it's
so
really
well put. Yes, exactly.
Hey.
Yeah, 100%.
Hey, one
Sorry,
thing.
Syntax, did
Wait,
you wanna-
yeah,
yeah.
You know that guy that you're questioning why you should mute him, or you're asking why he's a troll. Just
Oh, this
heed
guy?
my word. Heed my word when I say mute him right now. just
And that's the last thing I was saying,
Bro.
guys.
Ooh, this
Seriously,
Yuri
I
guy?
think that's one of the main problems in society now. Like men are being shamed for either not acting like men or being too masculine instead of being taught how to be a man. And I really think someone needs to take accountability for that. I mean, I know for a fact men need to learn how to take accountability for their own selves, but most of us are having to look to YouTube and shit for that. Like, there's no true leaders I see being masculine role models for most of us, and it's kind of sad,
100%.
especially with the amount of presence that people can have in this day and age.
You said it exactly right. Men are being like shamed for not being like masculine enough, for being too masculine. And I honestly like, it's like fucked up. Like it's going to take like, obviously it's like a movement, it's a generation, but that's like why we're so lucky, because our generation is going to reap the benefits of like knowing what a masculine man is, knowing what a man with purpose is. Like we're going to reap those benefits to like a huge extreme, what like if we keep applying it our whole life. Cause like not that many men just simply don't know about masculinity, don't know about like the shit Hamza and First Man are teaching that you guys are starting to, everyone in the chat is learning.
Facts.
Yeah. So this is my outlook on the reason why masculinity in today's day and age is failing, okay? Systemically, I believe men are at the core issue, because ever since the dawn of time, men have always led society, right? Since the recent uprising of progressional feminism, okay, men have basically helped pave the way to open up pathways for this female empowerment movement to take place. That then has had a knock-on effect where we've allowed it to get to a point where feminism has reached a whole new like height because of the history of abusive relationships, the history of female oppression. It's almost like
I got a lot to say on that.
yeah. It's like it's basically like we have compensated for the lack of air quotation marks equality that was lackluster for females. But here's the thing: women do not want equality, okay? And if there are any females in this chat now, before you try to cancel me, let me try and actually go ahead, think what you want to think, right?
No, bro,
women do not want equality, okay? Because every female that I have spoken to, every female that I've interacted with, okay, has told me that What they want in their men is a man who is assured of himself. And what does that mean? A man who is
Confident.
assured of himself is a man who has principles, he has values, he has morals, he has authority. And that authority then requires submissiveness. And
Right.
by
There you go.
submissiveness, we're talking about the masculine energy taking the lead and the feminine energy following behind. Okay. And this does not mean that women are deemed as less
Let's go
valuable.
full circle. Yo, yo,
It's
yo. Yeah.
it's just it is literally the symbiosis of which we live by. This is the yin and the yang. Okay, your masculine and feminine energy come together to create harmony. Now what's
Yeah,
happened
can
now
I
in
add to
today's
that?
day and age is we've flipped the script. We have completely flipped off the the status quo, and because you now have the feminine energy which now is starting to sit in the same positions of influence as men. The problem is women biologically lead with their emotions, whereas men
Right.
lead by their logic.
Mhm.
Now, what happens when you address every single topic with emotions? You have a fucking shit show of just well, emotion. It's just nothing but reaction as opposed to responsiveness. This then leads to movements and campaigns blowing up because with emotion comes radicalized behavior. This is where we see radicalized feminists who are now saying that men are trash, men ain't shit, why should I have to do this, blah 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 blah. I don't have a problem with the whole like pay scales and the gender pay gap. In my personal opinion, more power to the women who are actually willing to put in the work to go to college, get degrees, and go and get themselves educated. That's fine. The problem is you're now seeing women who are now taking up positions such as corporate leaders, CEOs. They're having their own businesses, which are now gathering a mass following. And the thing is, their whole agenda is now being propagated to the masses. And this is being thrown through social media, which is now blowing up more of these trends, and it's now come to a point where everything is getting blown out of proportion. This is how you now see, for example, the high value men, the men who have worked on themselves, the men who have exercised self improvement and have got themselves to extenuating heights. I mean, look at like big artists like Drake, for example. He's got his whole pick of the pile if he really wants to, right? And he is doing so. What's
Drake.
happening is now
Hey,
you've got
Flatline, I want to add something to what you said earlier.
yeah, go
Um,
for it, mate.
when you mentioned abuse. Um,
Yes.
that's I think okay. So essentially, that's one of the biggest problems I have with red pill, and this we talked about um, earlier. A lot of men use things like red pill to justify how they treat women or how they view women and justify their negative thinking in general. And
Oh,
you know that's
100%.
right, and that's one of the biggest problems in society today. Like we talked about tribalism and people only
Yes.
associating with other people, particularly through the internet, when it comes to something negative. You know, you look at Twitter, you look at Instagram, or mostly Twitter, right?
Yep.
Most of the shit is negative shit. You know, it's people who called it. Elon Musk called it a war zone, and it pretty much
Oh
is. You
yeah.
know, and
Twitter and
and
Reddit, man. Twitter and Reddit.
right, and here's the thing, man. Men, like you said, men have some responsibility for the state of society now.
Yep.
Women do have, I want to say, equal responsibility, but in a sense, men have to be the ones held accountable and have to do something about it.
Yeah.
The problem is, you know, communities and societies are built by women, okay, and they're going to reap the biggest benefits of that, not only because they are emotional creatures and because they form communities, but
Yeah.
I'm not saying this in a negative way. And I'm not saying this to sound misogynistic, but the truth of the matter is, because of our biological advantages, women are, what's the word? Women have naturally a victim mentality. And
Yes.
that's
Mhm.
in First Man's video on every man is a three, the average man's a 3 out of 10. In the second
Yep.
part, he talked about how women don't really have to do much in society, and they can eat like shit and still get, you know, 75% of men will still want them. Um, and that plays into it too. Like women, if a woman wants to say that she's victimized, no one can deny it, you
No.
know. And but the problem with red pill is we're using this justification. I don't want to say justification, but we're using this whole logic of, okay, well, women are outright saying what they want, we know what they want, but they're lying about it and all this other bullshit, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
People in the red pill community are just using that to you know
fuel
have a
fuel
negative
their
attitude.
insecurities.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And, of course, all the stereotypes that we've had in the past, of abusive relationships like that definitely didn't help. And of course, through movies and media propagation of that shit.
Yeah, and the
It's,
media at that time.
yeah, I just want to say that men do have a responsibility. No matter how much women will take advantage of the organized society that we currently have by claiming that victim status, that is honestly their right to do so. I'm not saying that as like something we shouldn't be trying to understand and manage. That's just how it's always going to be. We have to take accountability for us as men. Do we have to do and work with the situation? Women are always.
We just need
gonna
to play
be
our
that way.
advantages.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wait, hold on, Victory.
It's
Just
like-
mute him, bro.
Being
Yeah,
able to
but the
submit a
thing
woman
is,
is
if
like
you
such
saw
a
what
huge
he said,
advantage.
it's not appropriate. If you saw
What
what he
happened?
said.
I don't
Like,
even
he
know
said
what's
he
going on.
wanted-
I don't
He
see
said he
it.
wanted to bank some light skinned chick or something like that, man.
Wait,
Oh,
what?
he wanted to dom a light skin.
Oh, he
chick.
wanted a
He
dom a
wanted that
light skin.
light-skinned baddie.
Oh yeah. I'm not even
Oh.
really paying attention to that.
It's whack.
But but
Bro, don't pay
But no,
attention
I
to
agree.
foreign race, man.
Yeah,
Just
don't
do it, bro.
Yeah.
Honestly.
no, but Akil, I agree with what you're saying because so this is it. You have two men, right? There are two men in this world. You have the men who are willing to look themselves in the mirror and take accountability for the way that their lives have panned out, and then you have those who are going to resign themselves to their unfortunate fate. Okay. To even simplify and build a terminology, you could argue there are those who are red pilled and those who are black pilled. Okay. Now, yeah, the pill that shall not be spoken of, but
Yeah,
it's true.
I'm
That it's true
Yeah.
because you have those two men who will say, okay, listen, I understand that this is the way that women operate because you are correct in what you say. Biologically, they are ingrained with the psychological, like to be the weaker. When I say weaker, I don't mean fundamentally they are weak, or like inferior, but to be the weaker of the sex is ingrained in their psyche. So you now have like this imbalance where you've now got women who are in very high um like ladders of leadership and influence, where their their intrinsic value of like just this woe is me mentality is spilling over into the pathway that they're in, right? With men, you either understand this concept and you work with it, as in you then build up on yourself to be the highest and best version of yourself, or you end up like these black pill spurgs who say, this is the end of me, I can't do this anymore, I'm too fat, I'm too short, women only like guys who are like a minimum of fucking 7'10", who have a perfect jawline and like have like the perfect balance between like fingernail fucking circumference, like skin clarity, and all this bollocks, right? But ask yourself this: if that was the case, how come there are slightly overweight guys with girlfriends, bald guys with wives? How is it that there are some short guys who are with girls that are taller than them and even look better than them? Why is it that they are guys who probably don't have the best skin, like as in best skincare? They might have a bit of acne or whatever, but he's walking around with that light skin baddie. Do you want to know? Do you know what it is at the core of it? It's the way in which those men carry themselves, because confidence rules key over everything else. When you master yourself, you can then master the environment around you. It is as simple as that. It is as simple as that. And the sooner that men start to understand that just by being a man alone, okay, it does not matter whether you are black, white, Hispanic, long hair, short hair, no hair, brown hair, blonde, whether you have fucking all of your limbs together, or if you're slightly disproportionate, whether you're short or tall. If you carry yourself with confidence, the women around you will see that, because women want men who have the ability to lead. When they can see that, That's what attracts them.
But like
It's
also, sorry, keep going.
go for it, man.
I was just gonna say quickly that like I was just gonna insert that we reap those benefits more, like obviously as like the more attractive you get. So like if you work out more, you know, if you groom yourself better, like even if you style yourself better, like those obviously like yes, confidence, like you reap those benefits more as you look better. But keep saying what you're saying, bro.
Oh yeah, but I was gonna say to that. So you then build up on this by working on your aesthetics, by working on like good skincare, by doing everything you can to play to your strengths, right? That is what is considered to be the red pill ideology. I know a few people here asked in chat what exactly is red pill. More or less, this is what it is summed up. It's understanding the true nature of men and women, okay? Because men also have their nature, right? Understanding that that life has its own ebb and flow, and it's not this fairy tale like Disneyland, you know, baby back fucking paperweight bullshit that we've all been spoon fed all our lives, right? The nice guy who
Blame all the
continuously
production.
asks the girl to go out with him, okay, doesn't get the girl. Okay, no matter how many times that you ask her, you drop to your knees, buy her flowers, and show your needy tendencies. All right, it's like, oh, if I ask her a sixth time, maybe she'll say yes. No, wrong. Okay, that is not how you you go about. That's not how a man should go about living his life. All right, the red pill ideology is about harnessing your own inner strengths, understanding that you as a man has value. Okay, you have value just for the sole purpose, just for the sole reason that you're a man. Okay, you have
Right.
a mission. It's about living up to that mission
Yeah,
versus
Hey
all the
guys,
other
to
bullshit
reiterate,
ideologies.
no, I was just gonna say to reiterate, guys, we know, we as men know we have certain advantages, certain biological advantages, and certain advantages in how we think compared to women. Don't, like I was saying earlier, man, don't use that shit to fuel your hatred, and don't use that shit to use against people. I mean, it's easy. It's very easy to do, especially in this day and age, or doing it online and you just leave a comment, whatever, and it kind of leaves that thought. Don't do it. Like use the knowledge you get to better yourself and to better the people around you. Try to make the most positive out of anything you learn, even if it's something bad. Like, for example, right? Knowing that no matter how hard you try to simp over a woman, you think, oh, that's so good, but oh man, it's fucked up that women don't want a guy who's throwing themselves at you. Like, don't think like that, guys. It's not healthy. Understand that you have an advantage as being a man, that you can improve yourself, and that by improving yourself, you will attract those women. And understand that it's we live in completely different worlds, right? Like, you can't expect yourself to just be an average man and getting the woman that you want. It's just not going to work like that. You have to
Mhm.
improve yourself. You have to make yourself better. So
Exactly.
yeah.
don't
I can
don't
I
make an
can I add
appointment.
some
That's
advice real quick?
yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, a lot of people are like talking about how to like manage like relationships in high school and all, cause like the demographic here is like mostly just like young dudes in high school. So I want to say to them, like when I was doing it, I I didn't do like relationships. Like I've never even had one myself personally. But my like approach to it was like I wanted to focus on what I was doing at the time, which was and still is like track athletics. So I was on my grind. I just didn't have the time for relationships, and that should just be what over your here. You should like know that your purpose or your grind, your goals, that's what comes first. You're in school to learn pretty much. So you shouldn't like go out of your like if you can, yeah, sure. If you have the opportunity to get that experience, go for it. But personally for me, I had several offers, but I just turned them all down because I knew I just didn't have the time to if I was going to commit to something like that, like a relationship, I'd have to lose track training like on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and even on the weekends sometimes for competitions. I'd have to make sacrifices for that. And when you're trying to balance that with academics, exams, all of that, you know, it's gonna be taxing, it's gonna be rough on you. So you shouldn't and never should make like relationships at that age a priority. Like I said again, the experience you can gain from it has its benefits, but you should know if you're coming here for the red pill just for that, you should like reevaluate what you want to get out of self improvement. You shouldn't
Right.
make your priority as a young man to get girls instantly while you're in high school. There's plenty of time for that down the road. But at the moment, like even if you're not going to use like your education to go somewhere, you're getting established, setting up like a name for yourself and sticking to your grind pretty much is where your priorities should lie. You shouldn't get dragged into the norm of all these guys getting into relationships. Even I was envious of some of these guys. I'll be like, oh yeah, bro, they're getting all the girls, and I'm just sitting here doing nothing. And then all the guys would be like, all the guys, I'd envy them because they seem to be happy, but that's just the exterior. You shouldn't get disillusioned by that. You should realize that what you're doing and sticking to your grind, it's pretty much delayed gratification. You're going to reap the rewards later on. So you should stay committed to that and you shouldn't commit any more than you have to a relationship, even if you happen to get one. You should know that what you're working on in terms of like academics or just your grind in general, that's what you should prioritize and
And
you
you know
should aim to
something?
prioritize that. Yeah, go ahead.
You know something, bro, and the right girl will appreciate that shit, man. Like if you're focusing on your
Exactly.
grind and you're not focusing so much on her, and we guys, we know this shit. Hams has talked about it. I'm sure you guys have heard in the red pill. Focus on yourself. The girl will come to you.
Well
Same thing with
said.
friends. Same thing with the people that you want in your circle. If you just focus on yourself, and when I say focus on yourself, of course I mean improving yourself. The right people will come into you. It'll come naturally.
Monsieur
Yeah.
Gilbert, the answer to your question is you don't. You focus on yourself and they'll find you.
Exactly, because I also like if you are in a relationship, like it's fine, bro. But I think like if you're like a single man, remember, guys, we're young. Like
Yep.
in my opinion, I think a successful relationship, like relationships are for successful men. Like we're young guys, find your passions. Have fun with girls. Like in my opinion, sleep with some girls, have fun. Go out with your friends. Focus on your career, your endeavors, and then like the women will come. Realistically, most women aren't like some are, but like most aren't ending up with their like college boyfriend, their high school boyfriend. So guys, just like really have fun and like find out who you are and like find your peace and your purpose before you ever let someone else in. I will say that, before you let someone else into your world, find out what your world consists of, your values, and what you want to do with it.
True, true.
Yeah.
So, in
Never,
a in
never
an
let never let a woman
go on.
take away from your success, man.
Exactly,
Right.
and quite aptly, gonna build up on that point. So, this is my personal belief system. Okay, some of you may disagree with me. Some of you may agree with me. My personal opinion is for those of you guys who are asking about, how do you meet girls and all this stuff. From the experiences that I have gained, I personally believe you should not be looking to meet females until you are confident and stable within yourself. The reason why I say this is because time after time after time again, I've spoken to guys who have gone and met a girl while they're on their, while they're still in the process of building up their purpose. Okay, I'm not saying that you have to be at the peak of whatever your purpose is and be, your own um like business owner or whatever it is, but just be assured enough to not be moved or shaken, because understand that part of female nature is, you know I mean, at the core, they're driven by their emotions, right? Now, if you are someone who himself does not have mastery of his own emotions, what happens is guys get caught up in the high of being with this girl, and then they fall into this like love trap, that I call it, because girls will then say that they love you and that, you know it's just you and them and they can't wait to be with you, and before you know it, she has then caused you to deviate from your purpose. You've moved off the very thing that attracted her in the first place. Next thing you know, you're settling, you're letting yourself go, you're getting comfortable, and then you start to become unattractive to her. And then when she decides to leave you for a guy that's on his purpose, which was the original thing that you got her interested in the first place, was you're the one left heartbroken. So
Brothers,
instead of
that's what happened.
seeking, exactly, it's happened to all of us, right? But seriously, you should you should 100% you should 100% go out and meet girls, go out and do cold approaches, go out and talk to girls, but don't look to get invested to the point where you think like this is it, this is my wife for life, because that's a load of fucking shit, man.
Yep.
There isn't like, I believe you can sustain a female to be your life partner, but that only comes later on in life. There's a reason why they say that men should only look to settle down once they hit their 30s. If you're a little bit earlier and you've met a girl that's been consistent with you, sure, by all means. Otherwise, just enjoy experiencing women, because trust me, that one girl that you think is the one and only for you, believe me, she ain't the only one trying to be the only one.
Exactly.
There'll be
Fact.
plenty more, plenty more. Focus on your purpose, build yourself up, stay fit, stay healthy, and stay off the simp juice, man, because that shit will only break you.
No, bro, you hit a perfect point. Like when we're young, especially like up until we're like 30, 40, men and women want different things. Like, and I think were you referring to the way of a superior man?
Yes, I
in
was. Yeah.
he literally, he
Well,
talks about how like when we're like as you get in your 40s, they're saying like a man in his 40s, 50s, a 15-year age difference is not weird, because think about it. When you're hitting your 30s, a man is still building his purpose. You're building your career, trying to, expand on whatever you're doing. And a woman in her 30s, bro, by like 27, 28, she wants to have a kid. She really wants to have a kid. By 30, it's
Yeah.
like starts to get weird. At 31, so like we want different things. So like, if you're simping, if you're on the simp juice, if you're not, very confident, if you're not on your masculine purpose, then that's exactly what you're gonna do. You're gonna settle when you don't want to, and you're gonna miss out on the benefits of like 10 extra years of being able to grind on your purpose, on your career, financially secure yourself,
exactly. And one other thing, guys, remember this, right? If there's one thing that you take away from this whole lecture, hone in on this. There is no resource, there is no materialistic object, there is no human being, okay? Actually, two points. 2 points. Sorry, I stand corrected. There's no resource. There's no materialistic object that is more valuable. There is no amount of monetary value that is more valuable than your time and attention, because that is one thing that you are constantly losing. Like even just sitting here on this podcast, you are I'd like to say you're using that time in a constructive manner, because you're learning things to help build yourself up. But nonetheless, you're not going to be able to get this time back. If you spend this time on females just who don't even know what the fuck they want, okay? Half the time that girls say shit to us, like they don't even know what they're on about. Okay, I've had girls who've told me that they're not interested in me. By the end of the night, I'm smashing. It is what, like, it's just how it works, all right? Because they are
How they
all
feel, bro.
about how
It's
they
how they
feel.
feel.
Exactly.
Don't,
When you
when
think
my
about
friend
it in
says
a,
don't listen to women, bro. Just observe. Just observe
yeah,
and listen.
exactly. So one resource there already, okay? Your time is the most valuable currency. And secondly, this is specifically when it comes to females, there is no woman that is more beautiful than your freedom. Stay, stay abundant. Stay single right up until the point that you are comfortable with yourself, until you have made your success and you've achieved your purpose. Because trust me, every facet of your life that branches out from there will you will be thankful for it. Okay. And 100% on the topic of females, the woman that you attract, because I do believe this to be true, you basically attract what you are. Okay.
Yep.
You will attract the female that resonates on the same frequency that you are currently living on. So if you're still in this bum mentality, you're going to attract a bum. You're going to attract a low value woman who is just all up in her feels 24/7, who has no self respect and no willpower. Chances are she's going to leave you for a higher value man. Okay. Because you're low value. If you build yourself up to the point where you are successful within your own right, you'll attract a woman that not only is of the same like ilk, is of the same habitual lifestyle, but she'll respect you for it.
Yep.
And that is also, you know, like the little underlining gem here. Respect is more valuable than love. Just let that sink in.
Respect and loyalty.
That's it.
Hey, look, real fast. I just wanna do like what we used to do, where we have like a lot of people like from the audience just hop on. So I'm gonna like remove everyone here. I think I'm gonna keep Miles up here just because he hasn't been here in a while.
Yo, what's up, bud?
So
Yes, very
I'm-
nice talk, everyone. It's
I'm
nice
gonna
talking to everyone
dismiss the
here and
rest of
what everyone
y'all.
had to say.
I appreciate y'all coming up here, man.
Thank you. Take care.
Definitely.
Flatline.
Bro.
Thank you, Victory. Thank you, Akil. All right. What's good, Miles? How you been?
Dude, I've been good, man. I took today for me. I'm in college, you know,
Yes,
you know the
sir.
degenerate shit I'm doing, but I'm getting back on track. I'm getting back on track. How are you guys doing in the chat? I haven't really talked to you guys in a minute. How's everyone fucking doing?
Bro, been
Vibing. I'm at the
broken.
home gym. I'm good, thanks.
Great.
Feeling good. Love it, love it, love it. Yeah, dude, listen to Syntax. This guy's on some different shit. The commitment that he has put into the server, like, y'all gotta listen. Y'all gotta take notes. Like, this shit really works.
Nah, it's
It
called
really,
ketamine.
really works. It's called ketamine. Love that. Yeah. But
I
yeah, I mean,
appreciate
I want to
that.
come up, give my quick 2 cents. I mean, if you're talking about women, and yeah, I mean, I'm still learning. I have a lot to learn, but for me, you have to act like you are the priority. And I know, like, we keep reiterating this. Like, once you work on yourself, and once you get to a place you like, you'll start attracting women. But I don't think about it like that. I'm not really going out of my way to attract women. I'm going out of my way to be my best self. I like looking in the mirror, and if I see something I like, then I'm fine. If I don't, I'm gonna keep working on myself. I'm gonna keep fucking going the extra mile. And my tendency right now, I'm in college, so it's like not that hard to pick up a woman. I mean, I went to a bar last night and I picked up a girl, but you have to realize, like, the guys that are like picking up girls, the guys that are like very successful with this, they're confident. They're naturally confident. They naturally don't really need the female. They don't need females to give them attention. They don't need all this stuff. I mean, it's like a side benefit. I think Hamza's covered this. Like, you have to have a purpose in life. And what I figured out is when you're passionate about something, no matter what it is, and you can like bring that up to a girl, and you just genuinely want to talk to them about it, a lot of them will fall. A lot of them will be interested in you, because all picking up women is, and all like this red pill shit, it's just comp. It's basic competition. And what you'll realize is looks attract, but like your personality and the way you talk and your game, that's how you get a girl into your bed. So those are my 2 cents. I don't want to talk for too long. Fuck, there's 110 people in here. That's kind of crazy, dude. But yeah, those are my 2 cents on that. I see dog naps in the chat. Love that, dude. But I'm gonna dip, dude. I just wanted to give my 2 cents and talk for a bit. Keep killing it. Yeah,
bro.
yeah, man.
I appreciate you, man.
Of course. Keep doing these, dude. These are
Of
like
course.
every fucking time I see this, like more and more people come. The value just keeps increasing. Like, shit, you're gonna fucking take over the server, dude.
Appreciate it,
You're
man.
gonna fucking
I
do
just
it.
keep doing my thing. Keep sharing knowledge.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. All right, boys. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna be in the chat, but I'm gonna let Syntax do his thing.
Bro,
Oh, yeah.
appreciate you. Hey, man, I just want to say, fucking, I love Miles, bro. This guy's so amazing. He started the entire fucking concept of these lectures, so, you know, without him actually starting that, it feels like we would never have these. We wouldn't have as much leadership and initiative taking place in the server. It's great that he started this all. But I know Not a Nationalist wanted to speak about something, or his plans. So
I'm sorry, for interrupting you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my mafiosos.
Huh?
Yes, I came here to tell a small story, okay?
Mashallah.
Yes, mashallah, I'm not Muslim. But listen, I'm a Turkish person from the Netherlands. And, you know, people here, especially the women, they tend to be like very, very immature. It's like they don't mature, you know. You walk up to them, they give. Thank you, my brother. I walk up to them, you know, I give them a compliment, and they think I'm complimenting their ass. You know, that happened to me once at the store. So at some point, I was like, for fuck's sakes, bro, fuck this shit. I started going to the gym, getting ripped, and then I thought of a very cool concept. Something that can really motivate you, you know? Taking pride in the country that you're from, bro. For example, I'm Turkish. And what I decided is, once I turn 19, I'm going to get a Turkish passport, wait for Turkish government to call me into conscription, and just go to Turkey to do my conscription. You know? The love, the pride you take in your nation is more important than the pride you take in yourself.
What the fuck? Oh my god, bro. Yo. Oh. Oh my god. Oh, that shit was funny, bro. Yeah, I recorded it, AK. Oh my god. All right. Cabbage. What's good,
bro,
cabbage?
I know that we don't see eye to eye with that dude, but like, I think he's got a different mindset. Like, what he said, he was from the Netherlands. Like, wait, is that Western Europe or is that East? Like, you know how like, yeah, us like Westerners, we're like, you think of the world like in like the individualistic
Yeah.
kind of way. Like, I want to be better, I'm gonna be better, but then you know, there's like the collectivist kind of mentality too, where you're like you do your part for your society instead.
Yeah.
I think it just comes from a different way of thinking. I don't think you necessarily need to kick them off. You know?
That shit was hella funny.
That was interesting,
yeah. Oh my god, bro.
Wait, what?
Oh my god, bro. Oh, okay. Cabbage, I know you bagging a lot of females, so spit game.
A game?
Sir.
Bro, honestly, I don't really know what to say. Like I say, I remember seeing this one dude's YouTube channel. Like this guy was talking about how he had been celibate for like many months, like maybe a year or something, and how women would want him more because he wasn't available, because he can't have sex because he's celibate. So women would want him more. It's kind of like a weird concept to me at the time. But like say, I mean, I'll give you an example. I don't know if I made the right decision here, but like yesterday, right? I was like coming home from school on my bus, and this girl decided to sit on top of me, and I told her to get off. Now, I don't know if that, like thinking back, I'm not really sure what that was. Not sure if that was a Chad move, or like when I talked to my family about it, like the men in my family were like, "Bro, you crazy?" Like, "Oh, why did you do that? Like, you're wasting the opportunity." But honestly, I'm kind of like I don't know. I didn't really want it at that moment. But also, I feel like if you're unavailable, I feel like you're almost more attractive. What do you have to say on that, Syntax?
I mean, I've never been into dating too much, and the females don't want me, so I don't know how much I can vouch for that. But no, I think there's like a mix to it. Like you need to be living your life and being purposeful, but fuck, I don't even know what to say. Yeah, as Miles said, women like competition. They want what they can't have.
Yeah, I am 15.
Oh fuck! Wait, you're 15? Holy shit!
Yeah.
God damn!
Don't forget.
Holy shit!
No,
and
but,
bro sound like he's like 20 or something, bro. Like, it's crazy. Oh my god. Sounds
Yeah, Carlos. Yeah, a woman can. Yeah, they can do whatever they want to you, bro. They can
facts.
touch you all you want, and you don't say.
Oh. Mm.
Nah, bro. I haven't
Okay.
like
Well,
women use my thighs as
you know,
like
I think we should get like
footrest.
a proper topic.
Yeah, yeah.
Wait.
What do you want to talk about?
Oh, what do they want to hear about? What do you guys want to hear? Talk about gaining skills. I mean, there's a lot of different ways to learn. I mean, teaching other people is probably one of the best ways to learn. It reinforces what you already know. But let's see. I think spaced repetition works really well. And there's this app called Anki. Anki basically it's like flashcards and it uses spaced repetition built into it to help you learn faster. But y'all really want to see willpower? I'll put willpower on stage. Get up here, you fucking alpha male. What's good, G?
I am so sorry
Nah, you
for,
good, G.
but yeah. So I just think that like women and like the way men should go about women is something I hold dear to my heart because the older I get and the more I see these younger generations, the more I see like such a struggle with that shit, and it really hurts me. So I just want to help them out with my own experience because so if I give you like a little background about me, just so maybe we can kick off this for a topic real quick. I did like 4 years of stage theater in high school, right? I was kind of forced into it, but I ended up falling in love with it. And that boosted my confidence through the roof because I mean, once you get on stage and you perform in front of like hundreds of people nationally and stuff, like everyday interactions does not even phase you anymore. But through that confidence, I learned that like people really aren't shit. Like everyday people aren't shit. Like nobody's opinion about you matters. Nobody really like.
Hello, my brothers. I'm
Oh
very
my
sorry for
God.
interrupting you. You may,
Who
I'm
invited
very
him?
sorry.
Who
I'm
invited
sorry.
him?
I'm sorry.
No, you're good, man. You're good. You know,
Who invited
Turkish
him?
pride and all.
Selamun
Turkish
alaikum
pride.
rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
What?
Who the
Wait,
fuck
did you
invited him?
talk?
Which one of you guys? I need
I did not.
names,
I don't
right?
think I have the power to do that, bro. I don't have the power. To do
We.
I know it's
But
not one of y'all. It was someone else with the event organizer role. Holy shit.
But anyway, as I was saying, for a lot of guys, they put a lot of they overthink like every interaction with somebody. Like, what if this person thinks I'm weird? What if they don't share the same interests? Like, what should I even say? What? Just honestly, be yourself. I've said the most outlandish things to women. Like me and my cousin, we would like play games where it was like I would give him a phrase or something to say and point to every or any random girl in the vicinity, and he would have to go say it to them, and it would be stupid shit. Like my cousin one time, I told a story yesterday to some people, but he was like, he gave me a cup full of ranch, and he said, "Go up to that girl, lick the cup full of ranch, and tell her you'll eat her ass just like this ranch." I said, "All right." Grabbed the cup, walked up to her. I did the whole thing he told me to, and then I flipped it on its head, and I still got her number at the end of it. It's like most guys would be like red faced, embarrassed, like, "Oh my God, like how could you even like play that off? You'd get rejected, she'd slap you." It's literally all about how you go about it. I was such a playful person. I smiled, I wasn't creepy about it. Like I laughed before she could even laugh, and she thought it was funny. Like girls, like someone else said, I believe it was you, Flatline, they can smell fear and insecurity on a man. They can smell that shit. So if you just like literally like wear that masculine deodorant, bro, and you mask that fear, girls are gonna be like, "Damn boy, what you smell like?" And they're gonna be like all up on you for it. And it really depends on like Daily Panoi Fee says it's how you, I don't know what your fucking name is, but it says how you hold yourself. It really is. It's all about confidence. Like don't stutter. And I know that's hard for guys, but that usually comes with the insecurity, not being able to like speak fluently because you're obsessing over every word. A good posture would be helped through exercise and also just self-confidence, better skincare, better hygiene, better dressing, all just comes with self-appreciation. You know what I mean? Like, it's just all these things you got to like really take accountability, self-accountability at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Like, nobody's gonna do it for you. Your mama's not gonna come into your room and put your fucking boxers on for you every damn morning till you're like 48. You know what I mean? So you just gotta
What I wanted to
man the
add
fuck
was
up.
like, you done or you can
Yeah, no,
continue?
you're good. Sorry.
But like what I wanted to add to what you said was like being yourself. Like honestly, like for real, just it does like for me, at least in my experience, right? Like before, I used to like fake my reactions. I used to like put on a mask. I didn't say hi to this girl, this, and that, right? That I liked, right? It didn't give me any girls, right? But once I started being myself, I started, you know what I mean, like getting into activities I like, stuff like that. Like girls, like if I'm gonna give this one experience. This one girl, right? Like, she asked to kiss me 3 days in a row, multiple times, and like this is just me being myself. I smile a lot, I'm bubbly, stuff like that. Like, if you are yourself and like you work on yourself, right? Like there's obviously negative things that a person has about themselves and you would like to fix, right? But like
Mhm.
it all starts off with being yourself and then fixing yourself. You learn from your mistakes, right?
Of
But
course.
what I'm like trying to get to is that like if you have to like think before you say every word, like she's not meant to be with you. You're not meant to be with
Yeah.
that. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. Well,
it's just continue.
I agree with that. It's like the hesitancy, you know what I mean? Like it's
You
also,
watch
but
what you say.
that's
A lot of
that self-image you were talking about. You know, like just being yourself because you're less hesitant to be like natural yourself. Like you're more hesitant when you're trying to put up a front. I grew up in a really bad neighborhood, right? So I had to put on this front like a don't fuck with me kind of face and attitude and composure. And that wasn't the real me. So every time I would end up going like to school or like around anywhere, I would maintain that whole like don't fuck with me attitude. And people would always tell me like, Will, you're intimidating to look at, like you're intimidating to talk to. But then the people who really knew me were like, yo, Will's such a fucking fun guy, you know, whatever. And I realized that something wasn't correlating there. And it's because I put up this fake front and it was repelling people more than it was attracting people. You know
facts.
what I
Yeah, like
mean?
like what are, like
So
this is one thing that I'm preaching to people. What I've been saying. Whatever you think on the inside will reflect on the outside. Whatever you're thinking, like in your head, like if you're happy or sad, it will reflect on your body language. So like,
yeah, and honestly, I think honesty is number one key, dude. Like a lot of guys are like, what if you want to talk to a girl but you're not sure her age and they overthink everything, bro? I walk up to her, I'm like, hey, I just wanted to say I saw you from over there and I thought you were really beautiful. I was wondering if I can get your number. My name is Will. I'm 22 years old. What about you? I just asked her, like, what about you? Like, you're a human. And if she's like, oh, I'm 16, I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. You just look mature for your age. I can't do that. And I walk away. It's not that hard. You know what I mean?
exactly.
Like, you just, guys are like overthinking everything all the time. And it's like,
Facts. There's
no
no
wonder
like,
why you're not making no progress because you're sitting there twiddling your thumbs
mhm.
like, you
they're
know,
like
instead
they're
of
like
doing it.
they're like, oh, when next do I text her? This, and that. Like, bro,
Yeah, like who gives a
you
fuck
have
what
to.
minute passes, bro?
Mhm.
Like there was this girl that like I'm not from Florida. Well, I am from Florida. I moved to North Carolina. I lived there for 10 years, and then I moved back here. But now I'm moving back to North Carolina. Whatever. But there's a girl over there that went to my high school. I never talked to her in high school because I was self-conscious. I never said nothing. But I ended up getting her snap one day, and it took me all the way until like what yesterday. I was just like, fuck it, I'm moving back there, so why not? I hit her up. I said, you know, I spoke on a conversation we had like years ago. I said, you ever make it to Florida? Because she said she wanted to move to Florida. She said, no, laughing face, whatever. And then I instantly followed that up with, well, I'm going to be in town. And if you're still local, let's go get coffee. She said, maybe with the shruggy emoji, hit me up when you get here. I didn't say nothing. I'm not going to talk to her again until I get there. And when I get there, I'm just going to say, hey, I'm going to be in this area doing my own stuff. If you want to come by and have coffee with me, let's do it. And it's just that simple. If she comes, she comes. If she doesn't, I'm going to still do my own thing. You
Exactly.
understand? You know, like you have to, you know, and that's one thing that I can agree with Hamza on is that like you just need to do your own stuff and then bring people into your world. You understand? Like people
Yeah.
don't want to come into your world and then be your world. You got to have your own shit going,
Yeah,
you
I
know?
think I know what you're talking about, the video where he was talking about how like you don't want to just go to a place because you're invited to someone. You want to be doing it originally. You want to like, you know what I mean? Like you want to
Yeah,
have
like
fun.
dude, I take girls doing everything. Like you know, there's been like anti-gun, anti-masculinity females that I've just hit up and been like, I'm going to the gun range today. You want to come with me? And they're just
Mhm.
like, sure. And they come and they've never shot a gun before, but then I'm sitting there teaching them. I'm like holding them from behind and shit. You know, like I'm getting that interaction, that personability. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I'm teaching them a new skill. I'm also teaching them not to fear this shit that the media puts out. Like guns aren't scary if you like are safe about them or whatever. That's another point. But anyway, all I'm saying is like you just gotta be that guy. You know, you gotta be a planet. I always say that people be a planet and gravity will draw people towards you. You don't
Facts.
want to
I
be this
love
fucking
it.
asteroid floating in a void by yourself, bro.
Law of
Like,
attraction. Yeah.
yeah, like literally.
Like
If you're just
literally
this, if
that's
you're an
one thing I want
asteroid, you're just gonna bump into things occasionally, but you're always gonna get bumped off
yeah.
and go away. You know.
Like another
So
thing, like I want to add to this, like literally, like if you want to like also like when Hamza made a video talking about like your quality of women, right, and stuff like that. I don't know if he added this point, but like just saying if you want to like when it comes to like let's say you want to attract higher quality women, right? Because I think you were just
yeah,
talking about that, right? Like or just in general.
yeah,
I just want to bring this up. I feel like changing like the people who you hang out with, like this topic has been brought up so many times, but like I've been putting into effect recently, and like I've really seen like my life and everything that I've been doing like change for the better. Like I've become a more creative person. I've
yeah.
done like
Oh yeah.
you know what I mean. Like I don't know how to
Yeah,
explain
well,
it, but like
listen, bro. I used
mhm.
to like since 12 years old. Like I said, I grew up in a bad area. I was a drug addict for like years, bro. 12 to about like what 19, 20. And when I mean drug addict, I'm gonna even say just marijuana. That's still a drug, and you can still be addicted to it. I don't care who you are and what you say. That is a drug, and you can be addicted to it. For all those years, I would smoke like 7 blunts a day,
Damn.
like sit in a garage and joke with my friends, and be lazy as hell, not want to go to work, do a whole bunch of like stupid shit, right? And it was because my environment fed that to me. All my boys smoked. All my boys wanted to do was sit around and joke. All my boys didn't want to work. All my boys didn't want to do nothing. So I didn't do anything either. You
Facts.
understand?
Yeah,
So once I realized that and I broke off from that friend group and I started finding friends at the gym, I started finding friends like at libraries, at like coffee shops. I just started going out more. I realized like, damn, my social circle has changed phenomenally. Now I'm more productive. I started getting higher quality women because of it. You know, like when you're smoking
yeah.
drugs and doing drugs all day, you're attracting junkies, bro.
No, it's exactly.
Like that's all you're getting, bro. Like, and
Mhm.
yeah, some of them might be good looking, but what are they doing to aid you in your life?
Yeah, like
Nothing.
what is what is the negative and the benefit? What are the benefits? And the negatives
Yeah.
weigh out the benefits out by
Yeah,
like
because
a
you find a
landslide.
girl at the gym, she's gonna be like, I'm your gym partner now. Let's go to the
Right.
gym and work out together. That's cool because now you're socializing with a woman and you're doing something productive. And even if she falls off, you're still getting your grind on. Understand?
Exactly.
If you have a girl who's like, Lo, let's match, let's smoke, whatever, you're just
Like
doing
what do you
drugs and hurting your lungs, hurting your health, and not doing anything,
exactly? You're wasting
you know.
time. You can't get that time back. You're spending money,
Yeah,
wasting
on
money.
something, bro. I've wasted probably like 10K on just drugs, bro. I used to sell drugs. I used to get all into that whole like whatever. It was bad,
Eating
bro. I
things, yeah.
honestly, I think that look, having a drink occasionally, having like a blunt or a joint occasionally while you're growing up and doing your degenerate shit is okay, but that should not be your number one personality trait. You
Right.
understand what I'm saying? Like that should not be the thing that defines you. That should not be the thing that dictates you. You should be able to put that shit down and walk away from it. And if you can't, you got self-control issues.
Facts. That's true. I actually agree
Same
with
with
that. I never really
masturbation
thought
and
through that.
everything like that, bro. All these dudes out here who can't get their hand off their dick, bro. That's sad shit to me. For real. Like, because all that pleasure you're getting through a virtual screen and like self-pleasure, you could be having a real woman do to you if you just kind of like took a
Start
hold of
looking,
your
yeah.
nuts and walked
You change
outside.
yourself. Exactly.
Like,
That is true, yo. Like,
word.
I don't know. Like, moral of the story though, like these two things. If you guys want to take away anything from this, like literally, change your friend group, please, please. Like, if you have people who just aren't like they aren't good. Like, if you have like drama related people, like anything along those lines, just cut them out. I literally like. I'll give an example. I cut out a friend group, right? It was just pure drama, like straight nonsense. Once I cut them out, literally, my life, like, I am drama free now. Like, I have a lot more time to focus on things I want to do personally. And then when it
Yeah,
comes
see,
to
someone in the chat said, how do I learn how to say no more? You just do
exactly,
it, bro.
you just
Like
do it.
literally, when you get that instinct in your mind, someone says something to you, hey, you want to go smoke? You want to go drink? You want to go sit on our ass? You want to go? And you have
Don't
that
even
mindset
hesitate.
that says no.
Just say it.
Don't be like, well, I want to look cool, so yeah, let's just go do it. No, you tell them, nah, bro, let's go do something else and put your foot down and be a leader. And usually
Facts.
that person will follow you if you're authoritative enough. You understand what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like, you know, like you don't want to
True.
be a follower in life. You want to be a leader. Everyone is a leader. Everyone should be at least.
Facts.
So
Well, I mean, there'll always be followers though in life, and
Yeah, and look, that's not a. It depends on who you follow, though.
follow exactly. If you follow good people, that's good. But if it's not,
Yeah, like I don't like. There are people I follow. I follow David Goggins. I follow Jocko Willink. I follow like More Plates, More Dates, Greg Doucette, a bunch of dudes who like, like if you guys watch More Plates, More Dates, and I'm talking about like years ago, his cold approach videos. He did a lot of videos on like women and how to interact with women. He shows you his first cold approach with a woman, and he was awkward and weird, and like you could just tell the girl wanted to leave, whatever. But then like you see his 100th cold approach, and it's a completely different story, bro. All you have to do is do, and you will learn and you will grow the more you actually act. I just said in the chat, if you read a book on how to make $1 million, it's not like after that last sentence, ching, $1 million hit your bank account. Fuck no.
no.
It's not. You have to actually have the experience and go out and do it and apply that knowledge in the real world. Test it against the real world.
Facts. It's just like with video games too. Like if you play video games, you're gonna have to learn from your mistakes and improve for the next time. Whenever you get in the game, it's all about experience. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, like, and I'm also like anti bullshit. Like you said, you cut off your friend groups when there was drama. I don't deal with that. Like I could be friends with you for 12 years. Like I got some boys that I've been friends with for like a decade now. If tomorrow they started hitting me with some absurd bullshit, as hard as it might be, I'd instantly cut that shit off.
If they talk about some crack, they're blocked. If you talk
That's what I
about
mean.
some
Well,
really
like some stupid shit that wouldn't benefit me,
really
I would instantly cut that off because I know that, look, in life, everything's temporary. Our life is temporary. We're going to die one day. So make the most of it. But people are temporary too. Take the good from them, remember the good from them, and then move forward once it gets bad. You understand? Like, you're not bound to these things on this earth. And if you are bound to things like materialistic and friends and all this shit, like, you're just going to be so overly stressed, and all this time and energy is going to be taken away from you. It's just like, you're not going to progress.
Like nothing is forever on this planet. You know what I mean? So you have to, you have to step up. You have to you have to be honest with yourself. If these people aren't going to help you in the long term, right? Or just in general, right? Like you just have to do what you have to do. Like, in all honesty, because like you can like you really could be doing good in life, right? Like you can be getting good grades, right? And you hang out with the group where they don't get their work done. Like the football group, right? In school, the usual football people, the high schoolers at peak. You know what I mean? You start hanging out with them, you start acting like them, stuff like that.
Yeah, and well, that's the thing. I was always ostracized in high school because I was on the football team, I was on the wrestling team, and I at lunchtime would go and sit with the lonely, like nerdy kid or whatever, because our high school had this thing where it was like once every semester you go sit with a random person, and I took that shit to heart because guess what? Everybody has something to offer, bro. Nobody deserves to be outcasted like that. And just because I'm in like this sport or athletic stigma doesn't mean that I can't interact with someone or I should make them feel bad for not being that way. So I give those people hope. You understand what I'm saying? Like I go and sit down with them and I chat with them like they're normal people. I don't sit there and say, "Oh, I'm here because I'm sorry for you." No, I'm just like, "Yo, what's up, bro? How are you? Why are you here alone? Like, let's chat. What do you like?" You know what I mean? Like, and then I learned, bro, I learned so much from the people that people sleep on. You understand? Like, most of the people who, are like brushed to the wayside have the most story and the most depth. And like, it's just ridiculous. Yeah.
Or they could be ones that went through a lot, stuff like that.
Yeah, like that kid that was sitting at that table alone, me and him related on some deeper shit that me and none of the football guys could get along with. I used to cut myself. I was depressed, bro. I had no self-worth. I thought life was destined to be horrible. I wanted to off myself like multiple times. Shit was horrible. But then I realized it's all about mindset. And I literally told myself, you're going to be happy. You're just going to force myself to be happy. And I started being happy in my actions, in my thoughts, and it manifested into everything I did.
Yeah, I respect it. Yeah, I totally agree. Attitude is literally everything. If you have a good attitude, it's all about perspective, in all honesty, attitude and perspective. If you change your perspective of things, you have gratitude, right? And you start you're thankful for just being alive. That alone, you being thankful for that and acknowledging that will instantly change your perspective on how you see things. Like usually, like for me, I'm usually happy like most of the time because like I don't know how to explain it, but like my attitude towards things, like the way I just carry myself. Like I don't, let's say like I make a mistake, right?
Mhm.
instead of me getting upset or like being like I'm a failure, this and that, I see it as an opportunity to grow. It's about how you
Of
see things,
course. Yeah,
and
bro.
it's
It's
about how you put
perspective.
your
It's
attitude.
everything, bro.
It's facts. Like how you
Bro,
carry yourself, how you program yourself. You gotta
yeah.
reprogram yourself.
You
If you have
literally,
bad
like I
programs,
made a point earlier. I was like, we are robotic.
Mhm.
You can literally
Facts.
program your life and your reality to be anything you want it to be.
Mhm.
Like,
There's reasons
sad.
why.
No, what were you
There's
saying?
reasons why people who yeah, go ahead, my fault.
No, you good.
All right, but like there's reasons why people like let's say like they were what's a good example? Like do you know like people were born into like rich families, right? There's
Yeah.
reasons why those people still stay rich. It's because of the family mindset. The people they were rich, right? And they're passing what they know to their kids. You see what I mean? While versus if you're in a poor like environment, right? Oh, you can't make it. You can't do this. You're not
Well,
smart enough. You know what I mean?
personally, I'll always value the poor man over the rich man because the poor man knows that he will be a poor man until he works for those riches. A rich man born into riches usually is sedentary, usually is spoon fed, usually they don't have the same drive and effort. Yeah, they might run businesses, multi-billion-dollar corporations,
Yeah.
but it's because they didn't work for it and it was handed to them. It's a lot easier for
I
them.
mean, it was handed to them, right? But here's the thing: it's because of the mindset and the attitude. To be rich, you have to have that mindset. To be rich,
Oh,
you have to have that
yeah, to
attitude.
maintain that, yeah.
Exactly, because money is like you can lose, you can gain money and you can lose money. There's people that have won the lottery and they lose it in the next year.
Oh, of
You see
course,
what I mean?
because I mean, and look, that's another
Yeah,
thing is like a man who goes from being completely poor to like rich
rich.
as hell, a lot of the time, well, it's actually a 50-50 gamble, but a lot of those men either are like, I've never had shit and now I have shit. I'm gonna keep my shit by being smart about it. Then you also have the people of like, I've never had shit, let's get everything.
Yeah, they
So like you
squander
said,
shit.
it's all
They
about
do.
that. Yeah, it's all about the way you handle things.
Yeah,
But
I
someone in
mean
the chat said, "Will, how are you so wise?" It's not about wise; it's about experience. Experience breeds wisdom, bro. Like
that's
I've
facts.
had people in my life like die around me. People get sick around me. I've had people make mistakes around me, and because I'm present and in the moment, I'm 22, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but I've had, I'm in the moment all the time. I'm barely on my phone. You have to understand, like, I see where people make mistakes. I'm very empathetic when I feel like hearing my friend overdosed on fentanyl or something like that, or my friend hung himself in a park, and like
Mm-hmm.
real shit that actually happened. You don't
Like
think that I feel for that and I learn from it and I understand like the struggle they were going through and I think about it and I'm deep in the thought about it?
mm-hmm.
Like, it's literally the experiences, and you only get experiences if you go out and put yourself in those places. And I'm not talking about drugs and whatever. I just mean like you have to go out and like be a part of the world to get anything from it. You're not gonna be experienced sitting in a room learning, or playing video games and
Or
also
just
just watching people on YouTube live their life. Like,
yeah.
I
But
mean, you
like
might learn a thing or two, but it's not genuine. It's not real.
if you want to learn like life or stuff in general, honestly, this is what Vic what's his name? What Flatner said, read books, that's one of them. Number two, like you learn from other people's mistakes. So like you can watch like videos, you can like just in general, like how you said you watch other people when you learn from their mistakes. Like what's that the one title Hamza wrote? Men learn from their mistakes. Wise men learn from others' mistakes. You know what I mean? You want to kind of live life like that.
Yeah,
Because
bro.
like
If you've ever had an older person be like, you know, uh, you learn from your elders or say something to you and like try and teach you a lesson, most of the time
Mhm.
as kids, we brush that shit off. Like, what the fuck do they know? Like, we just think about these people as always being older, never being our age, never
Yeah.
having, made mistakes and stuff. That's a
Mhm.
fallacy, bro. They literally were us. Like, my dad, he's a smart man. He's taught me a lot just because he's taught me all of his mistakes. He was like, when I was your age, I did this, I did that. He's been arrested, he's been that, but like he's done so many things for himself and businesses and his perseverance and his attitude on wanting to learn things. And he's made himself like who he is through learning from his own mistakes. And that mentality was passed on to me. And I'm very thankful for that because it's made my life
A
completely
lot easier.
360.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He like yeah, that's true. Like learning from like your mistake and then giving that to others. That's another way you can also help people or
Yeah.
people
But,
who
and
aren't
see,
you.
you'll never truly learn it till you apply it. And sometimes
Facts.
I've heard him say things to me, teach me a lesson. And I was like, okay, I heard it and I understood it. But then I went out and I made that mistake anyway by accident. But then that lesson resonated like tenfold in my mind because I was like, bro, he was speaking facts. Like he really told me that shit was gonna happen, and it did. You know,
It's like with reading a book too. You know, like you read something and then you apply it, and then you see the effects of it.
Yeah.
On how it
yeah,
changes
books
your
are
life.
good for gaining the general idea of it, but then the experience of the idea in the real world is what solidifies it and actually makes your story.
Facts for
You
sure. Yeah,
understand?
I actually agree with that. Yeah, like well, yeah, you learn from the experiences that you encounter, and then you use that for the further experiences you're gonna, I guess, encounter later on in life.
Yeah, you
That's
test your knowledge against things. You know, like that's why a lot of
experience is
people
the
on
teacher.
this,
Life is the teacher. Yes.
yeah, a
Life
lot
is
of
the
people on the server are like, when I give fitness advice or diet advice, they start like really digging into my credentials and stuff. And I'm like, I went to school and I studied these things, but I did it because I was passionate about it. But also, I've tested everything I preach to someone else on myself first. Like, I wanted to know what worked and what didn't. So, like, when I found a new split, I would do that split, see the results from it. If I saw a new diet model, I would try that diet. Like, I did everything, bro. And I negated the bullshit out of everything just through like self applicability. So, if you don't believe me when I say every time you approach a girl, it gets easier, then go out and start approaching girls and you'll see for yourself it gets easier. The first time you talk to a woman, you might stutter, you might get red faced, you might look stupid, she might laugh at you, her friends might laugh at you. But then the 11th time, the 100th time, bro,
It
you're
gets
going to be
so
smooth
easy.
talking. You're going to be sitting there smiling. You're going to be getting numbers, bro. On God.
Right.
It's just experience.
Yeah,
Hey,
you know,
bro.
yeah. I really go ahead.
Hey, I just want to say, like, it's been going for a long time, and my computer is literally about to turn into a volcano because it's like it's overheating like shit. So
No, you're good. I've been
I
doing
just want to
this.
say, like, yeah, I want to wrap this up quite fast. So if you guys have any closing notes that you guys want to talk about, like, go for it. But
Yeah,
What's
I'll let you
like
go
the main
first.
points? What are the main points of willpower that we should write down? Sorry,
The main
experience.
points I think people should work on is getting experience in the real world. Like go out and be okay with failure. Failure breeds success. If you do not fail, you will never be successful. If you are afraid to fail, you will never succeed. I am sorry.
Fail forward, guys. Fail forward. When
Yeah,
you fail
fail forward.
you learn
Fail
from
and
it.
get up. Guess what? When you're a toddler, think about it like this. When you're a baby and you are crawling and you try to walk for the first time and you fall and hit your ass, if you just accepted failure, you would never be walking to this day. You'd be, in a wheelchair, bro, because your legs would atrophy. Nah, but what happens? Even a baby stands up. Even a baby moves forward, bro. Even a baby keeps trying till they walk, till they talk. So if you can't even do what a baby does, you got a real problem, bro.
it's
You
not
got a
about
baby's
how
mindset.
many or how hard you can punch. It's about how many hits you can take and keep moving
Bro,
forward.
and
I
that's
probably
the thing.
butchered that quote or some shit, but like,
No, that's facts though. I fought
yeah,
dudes who were bigger than me, swoller than me, and they beat my ass. And I knew that they were gonna win going into it, but I kept getting up, and I didn't let them intimidate me. I didn't let that beat me. My mentality outbeat their mentality because they thought, "Oh, dude, I just beat the shit out of this kid. He's not gonna stand up." Nah, bro, I'm dizzy. I'm falling over. I'm trying to grab tables and shit. I'm standing up and I'm looking him in the face. I'm still swinging, bro. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like, you just assert yourself, bro.
Facts, yeah.
Like mentality over everything. That's why I like David Goggins, bro, because he eats people's souls through his mentality.
Like in anything, like when we talk about learn from your mistakes, basketball, when you want to fix your jumper, basketball, when you like this, like video game, like just everything in life, you can learn from your mistakes and just improve. Like there's no like, you know what I mean? There's no like there's no like, oh, there's no point in life where, oh, I can't, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so look, here are the main takeaways, man. Get experience, don't fear failure, right? Change your environment. Change your environment to benefit you. Learn but apply the knowledge. Yeah, observe, being mindful in the moment. Like honestly, there's so many key points, but I guess for now it's just like
last thing, don't listen to your mind, and you'll be fine, honestly.
Yeah,
we're all
like
gonna
honestly,
make
bro.
it, bro. I said we're all gonna make it.
Yeah, we are all gonna make it one day. Some faster than others, but don't compare yourself to others, bro. Compare you to you. Compare you to your yesterday self.
Mm-hmm.
Sir.
And thus you'll drastically change. You'll be a way better. Yeah.
Bro, if you think
like how
every
you guys
day,
do.
what can I do to be better than I was yesterday? Bro, in like a year's time, you'll be like fucking tenfold steps above everybody else.
Facts. Facts. You'll
Hey.
you'll look back on yourself and you'll be like, who is this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, even
Person.
now, like I look at myself like a few months ago, I'm like, who the fuck is that? That
Yeah.
person is like gone from existence.
If every New Year's you look back at yourself and you say, "Oh, my last year self was better than my this year self," you're doing something wrong. You
Mhm.
gotta change. Like you gotta like really break down your life. Because you shouldn't like I know a lot of girls who look through their memories and they're like, I was so pretty then. Oh, I had someone and like and they live in their memories, bro. But they're not doing anything to move forward. And I'm like, bitch, what are you doing? Like, grab a hold of your coochie and fucking like go be that bitch. Go get the sun. Go work out. You know, go be a high quality woman. You know, you're gonna sit here on fucking Snapchat memories for the rest of your life. What the hell?
Or Instagram scrolling their life away.
Yeah,
Facts.
bro. Like, get out of your phone.
Hey,
So
bro.
it's literally to look good. It's all about habits. All right, but yeah, I guess we can end.
Yeah,
Yeah,
nah,
I
but
was about
I
to say.
appreciate the time, bro. I'm sorry if there was a lot of rambling. Your PC's about to blow up or whatever.
Yeah, no, it's fucking hot right now. It sounds like a goddamn jet plane on some shit.
Bro,
But
that
yeah, I
PS4
appreciate the
low-key
opportunity.
messed me.
Hopefully, I could come back up here another time. But
Oh, for sure,
yeah.
bro.
And if there's
Always
ever a
welcome.
podcast, you guys can invite me to that. That'd be dope. I'm about to set up a YouTube channel after I move. About like health and fitness, nutrition. I do acting, skits, art, a bunch of stuff, making music. It's gonna be like a whole bunch of stuff. Just
Is a quick question? Is that your body on your profile picture?
yeah.
Amazing. Good job, yo.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, I'm gonna move you guys
All the
both to
knowledge
the audience
my
real
guy.
fast.
All right.
All right, show. Peace.
Peace.
Peace out, syntax.
Thanks, bro. So, all right. Yeah, no, I appreciate Will for coming up here, bro. He's spitting fucking game, bro. Like, on God, if I could put him on Adonis, like I would right now, but I don't got the power. But yeah, put some Adonis emojis in the chat for willpower, bro. But so someone said, how is this Chromebook doing better than my PC? Like I'm on my laptop, it's really old, and then I'm also recording it. So yeah, but hey man, it was a good 2 hours, I think. I wish I could go a little bit longer, but my PC is literally, it might explode. So with that being said, take care, do the hard work, even when you don't feel like it. Take action, boys. Just hearing all this isn't going to do anything unless you actually take action and change your life for the better. So take action and have a great day, boys. What the fuck do I... Okay. There we go.